And welcome here to another edition of TCH Live Monday Night Big Game. As always, Mike Gimblett here in the house, the Dude Talk, and we're pleased to be joined by the dynamic duo. We're pairing it back together. Aaron McAvoy, AA Ron, and the Hizzle. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, not much, man. It's good to be here on a Monday once again. So it's been a little while, but we're making it happen. Let's go.
Yeah, you might be seeing us on camera, I think, maybe. I might be just waving to a wall that doesn't exist, or just chat pros out there. So is this really my good side? I don't know. We might have to change seats here, Aaron.
I don't know if they'll get much.
This might not be convenient for you, but, you know, this matters.
All right, well.
Okay, hey, you can kind
there
of
it
see
is.
us. We are instead a little bit more dimly lit, so it's not looking like we are in office space right now. And hopefully you don't have a case of the Mondays, as we're starting with a PLO bomb pot. We got a great lineup. We got Bones. We got Chin Soto. Rhonda coming up here to visit us. Looks like we can see Trey, Gordon, Godon,
25 PLO.
King of the Wahuas here in the house.
Got Jay Wynn out there as
Jay
well,
Wynn
and JC over there in the 9th seat.
Let's see, who else? Yep, JC, that's right. In too deep. Okay, we got all of our chat pros here in favorites. Our boy E. McKenzie, PM, Captain Underpairs, Racer Nerd, Lottie, who was on the final table with us last night for commentary. Aaron was on there as well. Quite shipped the W the whole way, but we were rooting for you.
Yeah, couldn't quite make the money. I got mushed by Jordan, actually, of all people. He told me I was going to bubble, and I did. And you know what? That's just the way it goes sometimes.
That's the way it is.
It was a funny exchange before the final table, and then afterwards he's like, "Wow, I didn't realize I had that power, but now that I know, I'll use it for good." And I'm holding him to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, gonna have our first bomb pot. Looks like Joe. I've not seen Joe here before that I can recall. And top two, it looks like here for Trey. Gordon had bet, so small chance of a set or a small flush, I guess. And let's see here. Trey, the PLO specialist, is going to go ahead and lay it down. All right, checking out some of our other chat comments. Jedi Master Ted, Squire Rue. In too deep in LA, somebody make sure Mike is not in control of the personal cam again. Well, I will say, not in our personal control. And I would never subject you to nothing but me nonstop for 4 hours. It's bad enough you have to listen or you enjoy listening, but yeah. We'll interject every once in a while so you can see that we actually exist, that we are real people. We are sitting back in the comfy TCH studios. And we invite you to smash that like button for us as we begin 5, 10, 25 here tonight on Monday night.
Yeah, Jimmy here joining us as well. I'm not sure. Has he been on the program before?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
It's like every once in a while we'll see some new faces and it'll be like, of course that guy has been on, and then there's been a few times where complete strangers, newbies, and first hand could get no action here as Joe races for the old ace-queen. Nobody going post. We'll wrap that one up as junior producer Seth here on the felt voted TCH's most handsome employee. A little straw poll, I think that was done by the chat. No official results on that, but, got my vote. Anyway, Carlo on the chat, or I'll stand. Victoria, hey. Kevin and Sarah, love the TCH commentators, also big fans of JC.
No, I'm familiar with it.
All right. Jedi Master Ted is helpful as always. Mike looks nothing that he sounds. Aaron's a beast in MTT. Why just limit it to MTT, pal? Huh? Okay. Rhonda's going to open here with ace queen. So it's just getting feisty here with the chat.
That's right. All right.
Barking dog here, Aaron.
That's right.
All right, Jimmy, what was he? Short stacking-ish relative here to the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon a little low, Trey, Jay Wynn, all starting. They played some pretty big games there Saturday, I saw. So Okay, where is Streamlabs? Let's.
Yeah,
Maybe we've temporarily shut down Streamlabs to prevent their overzealousness. I'm not sure. We'll do an APB as soon as possible. See if we can find them. Gary K with a great suggestion again, please. Smashing the thumbs up button, boys, girls. Ladies and gents, or if you're non-binary, I invite you to do so as well.
Yeah, we don't discriminate. Everybody can smash the like button here on TCH
Yeah.
Live. And Joe here going to open it up with a limp in +1. Trey on the button, of course, ace jack offsuit. He is going to raise this up, takes it up to 165. Had 465 on the screen there for a moment, but it is 165.
And Shin Soto here in the house says,
Yeah, here
Not
comes
part
the
of it?
3-bet. Jimmy, ace king of diamonds, and once again, yeah, sitting on that 1.7K stack, so fairly short in relation to the other stacks out here. Trey now has to go through the calculus of do I just pile it all in and go for it here? But because his opponent's on such a short stack, the raise there makes it seem even stronger. It's like he's ready to go for it, and indeed he does make the good fold.
no, I've not had a flop just yet, but we'll see if that's going to be a sign of the times to come. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like tough lineup, but it's not, it's nothing to shake your stick at or be dejected by. Some very good players here in the lineup, a good mix of action as well. So,
Yeah, I'm ready to see how Jimmy and Joe get in these streets and mix it up. Some of these other players, of course, we have seen plenty of action from them in the past, so we know a little bit about their game, but it's always exciting to see new players come in and see how they hang. Taking a look there at the chat,
Yes.
Mitch Hecht dropping the news here about Best Bet getting canceled, their WPT event getting canceled. Sounds like
did they
there's
say something inflammatory to the media? Is that what happened?
sorry,
literally
different canceled,
Okay.
not hashtag
Not the other
canceled, just
canceled,
yeah,
okay.
actually
Legitimate
canceled.
canceled.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some other people are talking about other big poker events getting canceled as well. So it does appear as though the Rona is making itself felt once again in the poker world, and I really hope that it's short-lived. I hope that this is something that we get past quickly, but we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of people are starting to get a little bit concerned about
Look at this.
WSOP. Take it away here. What do we
Yeah,
got, Mike?
Christian had 3-bet out of the big blind with 10s. Rhonda calling here with jacks. Trey with a hand to be determined, and Rhonda looking at this saying, okay, the pre-flop 3-better had checked. Might be an opportunity here that I just go ahead and take this, but she is really up against it right now.
Yeah, mystery hand hits the muck, and back over to Christian, who's flopped bottom boat. And it appears as though he's cutting out check raising chips here. Indeed, he is. So across the line goes 1.9 thousand.
Yeah, probably no reason to have to play this slow. Like, I would think you would reasonably expect that anybody betting this is doing it with a purpose and not just, oh, I've got 7s here. Like, it's enough here that I think maybe Christian's going to try to go for max, and unfortunately his opponent does not have a Queen X, and we'll just take it right here, Aaron. So,
Yeah, bit of
on
an
that
interesting
point,
line there.
And we're not meaning to start a debate, so please try to keep your unreasonable and crazy opinions to yourself. That, yeah, hey, we've all been through this. It's been like, what, now a year and a half. There's a lot to digest, and there's plenty you can argue about. I think we can all agree that, okay, hey, let's try to work towards just getting back to normal life. Maybe we might not ever, but, if you do your part, get the little right there in the arm, you're an adult. Go do as you choose, but
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
not make it harder for everybody else.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. All of that aside, because that there's everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has strong feelings, and that's important that everybody gets to sort of have their own view on it. But yeah, just as far as it affects poker, I mean, we'd finally gotten away from it, right? It was like
Right.
all of the big events were starting to come back. Like WSOP circuit wasn't back, but it was, we were still having some big tournaments and some big events, and man, all I know is that I was really enjoying that, and I hope that we get back to it here soon.
Wow, look at this. Top 2 open-ender and a pair here for J1.
Yeah, Joe coming in out of the third blind. Does flop Jin here, top 2, but JC got a decent-sized chunk of the equity, and Jay Win in here as well. Gonna go for the bet after check 2, and Joe gonna play this one trappy. No, he's not. He is putting in the raise, so I missed the pink chip that must be lurking off screen there, and that is gonna be a raise up to 650. Now JC, man in the middle here. This is a little bit of a weird spot to be in with as strong of a hand as an up and down straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Like, you really don't want to fold, but at the same time, yeah, how do you continue? JC does put in the call here, and yeah, Jay Win now just able to step aside. Heads up to a turn.
Oh,
Another
goodness.
7. And Jay Win kicking himself a little bit, but actually he was toast if he saw this card.
I mean, it's totally normal to expect your opponent may have Jack-7 offsuit in the spot, right? That's totally a normal hand distribution that will show up here, and this could get, you know, interesting here for JC. We've seen him be very aggressive in these spots. The door is open for him to try, but I would have to think there has to be some level of suspicion here after the check bet raise.
Yeah, and JC really wants his opponent to have a hand just like his, right? Like going for the check raise on the flop with something like a straight draw, backdoor flush draw. That's what he wants him to have. And then when Joe goes for the double check raise here and piles it on the turn, of course JC just going to snap muck and knows that he's probably drawing dead, as he was.
Yeah, we've seen JC. Sometimes, like Texas football, is aspiring to be all gas, no brakes sometimes, but it has worked out well for him here in the past, but trying to take a stab at that one is not going to happen. Elsinore Brewery, to the Harlan Williams announcer. You know, he's not learned my name yet after a year and a half. Let's all just get along like decent human beings. That's a fact. We always strive for that, and if not, we can just try to seek blood, anarchy, chaos, infighting, you know, all those normal, you know, healthy, emotional human things, Aaron. It's not necessarily in our description or mission statement, but
Checks on live
sometimes
stream,
we
please.
can have some fun here. But
Certainly in the fine print somewhere. Got on here, UTG waking up with ace king suited. Gonna pump this up to 75. Trey a little bit too out of position to do anything with king 10 offsuit. Joe here, though, out of the blind, he's like, you know what? I just smashed it with that Jack 7 off last time. Let's try the 4-3 off here. And JC with a very playable hand, 6-5 of diamonds. He's going to come in, and Christian snuck in there as well. Didn't see him over there on the button as his cards did not get scanned in. But 4 ways to a flop, 2 players with diamonds, and nary a diamond in sight.
not one.
JC, the bottom end of a up and down straight draw, of course, the 9. Not going to give him a straight that actually utilizes both of his whole cards. Checks all the way through, another 8 on the turn. There's the first diamond. It's exciting times.
I know, right? There's going to be a little bit of hope of being able to rub it into Gordon. just to needle him. I got to imagine Christian has something, like a small pair, a queen jack. Like, if it does not have anything like that, then it's going to be Gordon here with the best of it. But
yeah, checking all the way through, and Christian is going to show pocket deuces. There it is. Yeah, it's almost always just the little baby pair. If he doesn't take a stab on the button after it checks through twice, right? Like there, you bet anything, right? Like literally any 2 cards that don't have showdown value. And so when he does check behind it, it's just always a baby pair.
Yeah, it more often than not. So that's that's kind of the fun part that we get of just trying to play guess the hand, and you get a little bit of board texture there that can at least give you some clues. So that's a way for you chat pros at home to maybe try to learn a little bit about the game when you see some of these mystery hands. Try to pin down what they think you may have. Sometimes you guess right, sometimes you are way wrong, and you always have fun doing it. But if you also want another little thrill, you can also use the gamble feature, as I'm going to do right here. Gamble 22. I'm going to roll on the 100-sided die and lose my ass here, Aaron. But it's worth it. And again, you have to have a minimum.
Bro.
A 10. This thing is rigged, man. This is like playing back on Poker Stars in 2005. Lee Jones here to haunt my dreams.
Oh, no.
Fucking Lee Jones. All right, Bones opening here with pocket sevens. His first hand. Ronda here with king queen suited. Joe here with the jack 8 offsuit. Out of the small blind. Is going to flop top 2 and a set. Top 2 for Ronda. Set of sevens here for Bones. Ronda does have backdoor diamonds.
Yeah, things are about to get spicy. We don't know what JC has here. Joe does not have much to continue with, so he likely won't be part of the carnage, but Bones going to bet 175. Ronda calling with her top 2 pair, deciding to exercise pot control in position. She can safely allow her opponent to barrel again on a lot of turns. If they did have some sort of drawing hand, they're not going to slow down, and there's also a lot of made hands that she is going to be beating. However, pocket sevens is not one of them. Bones now betting 425. Let's see if Ronda goes for the raise now. I think this is sort of the natural street to take a raise line on with this hand in particular.
Great. It's like you just don't want to just flat call and miss out on any value of hit potentially ace king, king jack. But now you got to imagine Bones feels very strong about this because it's just very unlikely that Ronda would just flat with queens or kings. I think in multi-way action, so he looks like he's going for the kill. It's gonna be a min raise right back.
Yeah, he's like, if you're gonna click me, I'm gonna click you back. It's a little bit more than the min click, but it is a 3-bet on this turn. Full Badoogie out there, so yeah, Bones really feeling good about his hand here. Needs to dodge a king or a queen. He does. Bones will win this hand at showdown, and I imagine we're making it there, as Bones will now ship it. Most likely Ronda probably gonna snap call. Can't really see too many other ways about this playing out, but let's see.
We'll see if he goes for it all here with 3.3K based on our calculations. And there's just few scenarios where you can counter a player just saying like, well, you know, this player's clearly played it like a set on this board, and I'm just supposed to full top 2. Like, it just doesn't seem like for even an advanced player it's a move that you can make, and she's going to have to make the call to see the devastating news here as Bones gonna get a $12,100 pot with flop bottom set. Our early candidate here for the Yeti cooler of the night, and wow, what a hand here.
Yeah, 100% a cooler, and also just 100% no way that Ronda can get away from this. Bones could be doing this with the exact same hand, right? He was the opener, so he's going to have a lot of king queen offsuits as well in his range. So plenty of hands that she is going to chop with, maybe some hands that she's going to beat, although I'm not exactly sure if Bones will play this as a 3-bet on the turn with ace king. So yeah, it's sort of like king queen that she chops with and pocket sevens that she's just toast, and that's just the way it is. So yeah, just kind of a cooler, that's for sure.
Yeah,
well, apparently
I wish there was more high-level analysis you can throw into this, but it's just sometimes, well, you get this flop, you get this board, you have these players' hands, and that's what that is that. Wow, look at this. We have Dunks the Doggo here in the chat, says, hello, Dad. And I am just, you know, I'm amazed at my dog's ability to be able to adapt to modern technology. I just left the live stream on as I left, and now he's joining us here in the chat. So, saying that he loves Bones. So, wow, welcome on in. I wish we could be petting him right now, but I'm only just trying to imagine who in the world is behind that account. So there's a few list of like 5 candidates, I think, but if it's not an immediate chat, Austin Chat Pro, I'm slightly concerned.
Well, I checked my TCH Live loyalty points balance, and I have 0 after
That is
all.
a bunch of bull crap, Aaron.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be that guy that types in the chat, hey, Streamlabs is broken. I didn't get my
Sure.
points for watching.
Shut up, Streamlabs.
Yeah, I am a little curious about that because I have been watching plenty. You know, I demand a recount.
Maybe we need more transparency in the process. That's
That's right. All right, JC putting in a 3-bet up to 800 here from the small blind. Joe had opened the button, ace-9 off, and he is going to fold to that raise. JC will pick up a nice little pot right there, and on to the next hand.
Spyro say Mike's dog mining loyalty points. You know, that's his way that he's paying rent in our establishment. So he's gotten to live for free for the most part. So, all right, friend ATX Poker here. That's how I assumed who it was, but that's okay. Derek and Sierra Whitener also here in the chat as always. Appreciate you being here. Make sure to hit the like. Again, it helps. We say it a lot. We're like, yo, smash the like. They're like, you're listening to us going like, this is, well, what's the point anymore, man? Well, it literally speaks to the algorithms, algorithms. The guy named Al that works back at Google, and he's like, okay, I will pump this up now. All right. William Armstrong, 499. AA Ron, feel free to toss a scratch off in the pot for good old times. Mike, I'd like to contribute to the Dunks Toy Fund, $4.99. He will destroy that toy within probably 5 minutes, but that's okay. All right, we've got a hand here. Gordon, Godon, Mr. Granger here with a raise up 125. Joe will call the Queen 4 of Spades.
Oh, that is not a call. That is a raise.
Well,
Nope.
that was the flop bet. It looks
Oh,
like.
sorry. Okay, we were just a little behind there. Never mind.
That's all right. That's all right. Get out of here.
I was like, Gordon's folding his hand. That can't be a call. But no, it had been a call, and then it was a bet on the flop or some such shenanigans, and Gordon ran for the hills. But, yeah, shout out there to Will Armstrong. Hey, thanks a lot for the $4.99 super chat, and I'll be happy to go and get one of them scratchers. And,
Do you have any favorites? That like I'm not a big scratch off guy, and I'm irritated as all hell when I'm stuck behind somebody in line. But you know, like the bingo ones are kind of cool. Like if I ever have to splurge $5.
yeah.
I don't really have any strong opinions on scratch offs. Maybe our chat pros.
I like the crossword ones because
Yes.
you get yeah
Yes.
you get some real entertainment value out of them, unless you're just the kind of person that just like scratches off the barcode and scans it instantly, which I'm not. Like
Yeah,
I want to actually play the game.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun of it. It's like if I'm gonna burn $10,
Yeah.
like it's gonna be at least time consuming here.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the whole point of it. Now, here in legal, not gambling action, JC gonna raise up here to 250. Queen Jack here in the cutoff.
We had a couple of players limping, and the limping was put to an end by JC. Rhonda is going to go for the limp and then the call. And now Joe has to decide. Nope, he's already decided. He has committed himself to the limp call as well. Flop second pair. Rhonda effective second pair is a little bit better. JC, of course, with 2 overs has whiffed. Another club here on the turn. It is a deuce. Gives Joe a gutter to the wheel along with his pair of 5s. Rhonda, though, still with the best hand and the redraw to the 6-high club flush draw.
Anything? It's straight now here for Rhonda. Not to get any value from this, but has at least made a hand.
All right, so an announced bet of 350, and Joe beats her into the pot with his chips before she can cut them out, place them across the line, as Joe was a non-believer. Rhonda, though, does have the goods, and she ships that nice little 1.5K pot.
We win. I can't tell if TCH Dallas and Austin chips are interchangeable. Pink equal 500. I think for that big game that the typically have on Tuesday, there's been a move from the plaques to like bigger denomination chips. But I mean, here in Austin, I mean, we've got the 1K plaques, the 500 pinks, the $100 blacks, $25 greens. I mean, that's generally pretty standard. I think a lot of card rooms tend to use that unless they have a totally different like color configuration. So nonetheless, there's not a ton of crossover, but I don't think you can necessarily take your TCH Austin chips up to Dallas and have that work out. But okay, Mike Emblett, Aaron McAvoy here on Monday night. Front of TCH Poker here checking in. Lobo Poker. There's no hand as Jimmy wins it. TTX saying I was at Abby J's and a guy won 1,000 a week for 20 years, scratch off. I wonder how much he spent per week, but there are people who are professionals. Nonetheless here. But we do want to remind you here again, members appreciation, 50% off every single Tuesday. So if you're trying to play some cash game poker here at the old Texas Card House in Austin, that is 50% off your hourly rate. We've also got Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme making another stop at the Texas Tour. Going to be in Houston on the 7th and 8th, and then be coming to Austin for a meetup game on Wednesday, the 10th, like Wednesday the 11th, and then the live stream Thursday the 12th. So we look forward to seeing you there.
Heck yeah, that's going to be awesome. Some couple of really great guys, really good poker players, and obviously always just an exciting energy in the room when those guys are around. So really looking forward to that.
All right. Chin here with the dude talking the 10-8 of clubs. It's my super special. It's the only hand that I can claim credit to. And he will tangle up here with J1. So
dominating position here for J-Win, out of position. Both players flopping a whole lot of not much. And J-Win gonna just check it over with his 2 overs and a spade. I think this is a spot where he's gonna have a lot of aces as the pre-flop raiser, and he could just continue with the gutter. So I'm a little bit surprised that he checks, but he's gonna continue checking on this ace on the turn as well. Christian having none of it. He's like, I'm not gonna put any chips into this pot. Both, sorry, J-Win here gonna river a pair, and Christian now with just 10 high is going to put chips in the pot.
is going to see that he has been caught, but it is for a little baby pot for these stakes. As J1 coming up here with a winner. Certainly been active out there in the streaming streets. You can follow him at J1 Poker. As you can follow me at Hoops Mike. You can follow him at Words or Hearts. Aaron McAvoy, Mike Emblett. Hi, folks. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday here as we are back in the TCH Live studio. And you know what? You're welcome. You get to see us here.
You know what? You're welcome.
Does that sound arrogant, or did that, you know?
Hashtag you're welcome.
That's.
Here's our grinning
I try to be
faces.
confident and, you know, stoic. So I don't think I accomplished either one of those, to be honest. But
oh no, you slayed it, dude.
all right. Yes. Yes. As John Earl would say. Okay. Lefty actually has a good question for the commentators. You guys ever tried playing poker in VR? If not, you can check out something. I get the ads that show up on YouTube where people are like blatantly insulting each other and it's very loud, like, you suck. And you just have to kind of keep watching this ad until you hit close ad.
Wait, VR poker, virtual reality, that's what we're talking about? So
yeah, virtual reality poker, I guess.
Huh. I mean, it's an interesting
I don't know
concept,
if it's like for actual money but it is, I think, one of those wave of the future things.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, 10, Jack, Christian, gutter ball, bones, but Lord only knows what.
Yeah, this is a 3-bet plot pre-flop. Bones raising it up to 75. Christian 3-bet him to 375. Out of position. Bones called, and now we go check on the flop, check back from Bones. 8 of clubs here on the turn. Does nothing to improve Christian's hand. Going to continue checking here. Don't have Bones' hand scanned in, but I could imagine him having something like pocket 7s, pocket 9s even.
6s, 5. I mean, I'm trying to think of hands that he would call a 3-bet of that sizing, and it's. God, I'm wonder if he just like smashed the turn or something. Or well, there's a straight now here for Christian. He does have the ace of spades. Go along with it is, well, whatever Bones had was quickly pitched right into the muck, and a winner here for Christian Chin Soto. I don't know if he's officially like moved here or if he's just kind of enjoying the scene, but he's becoming a familiar face around here. So, okay. Ethan, or chat pro Ethan here in the chat. Hell yeah, Monday. Michael Tilt, mental picture of AA run and Mike updated. Yikes, I have no idea what people can look like based on voice alone. Has it been that long since you've been on the stream? Like, people have seen you a bunch. Apparently not enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, who knows?
It's, I don't know. That was kind of the weird thing about old school radio is that you couldn't recognize anybody besides their voice, and that was always just a mystery. So, all right, back here to the poker action. Looks like it was a $50 double straddle.
Yeah, that's correct. Trey here coming in for an open in the hijack. Ace, jack. Folds through to Rhonda. She's got a playable hand. Suited wheel ace. She's going to play it as a call. Joe in the third blind will come along, as will JC in the fourth blind. So 4 ways to a flop. Jack in the window. 9-5 of hearts right behind it. So Joe and Trey here both flopping top pair. JC has second pair. Rhonda a whole lot of nothing. Checks through to Trey, the original raiser. He will bet his top. Joe puts in the call and a sort of dejected toss of his pink chip there with the head down. Perhaps attempting to disguise the strength of his hand, which is generally quite strong. Calls the 450. JC here, pained to let go of a pair. It is second pair and facing a bet and a call in front. It is going to be best served as a fold. 10 of spades here on the turn is going to give Joe a tiny little bit of additional equity as he can make a superior hand with a queen now, as well as a king. Checks it over to Trey. And Trey can still get value from weaker jacks, such as queen jack, king jack, and any sort of random heart hands. So he will continue going for value. This looks like 900, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think you are mistaken. I think you're right on the money.
Well, we'll see once we get it plugged in here. 900. Bet a 900 and a call. 5 of clubs on the end. Front door hearts miss. And Joe's got donkin chips, and here they come across the line. Sets his price, which appeared to be 2K. Yeah, 2K, and Trey is happy to call that one off. And there we go. Trey going to ship a nice, juicy little 7.4K pot.
One
right
pair
there.
hand in for 7.4K. So we've typically seen you got to get a pot that size. It's got to be a little bit something more to it, but better kicker prevails here for Trey. Captain under pairs. Great commentary as usual, guys. It would be cool to have a quote mystery hand once an hour. Gamble points on hand or hand ranges. Maybe write that, down on the list of future ideas of ways that you can use your TCH Live loyalty points. We do have a Bad Beat Jackpot promotion happening, and everybody wins. The Bad Beat Jackpot hits at your location, $100 right there in your pocket. All locations get paid. Everybody. Wow.
If you are clocked in playing cash anywhere at a TCH location.
If I'm sitting there in Edinburgh and somebody up there in Dallas hits it, boom. Woo!
Bingo.
So the commentators are here in the booth, and the Bad Beat Jackpot hits. We get like 200, right? I think I negotiated that a long time ago, but I think we might have to go to our attorneys on this one. Okay, what do we got here? Jimmy with a hand.
Yeah, flopping top here. JC in there with a gutter, and Joe effective bottom pair here. Check, check. Over to Jimmy. He continues for 155. Looks about 1/3. Multi-way. JC here. Going to go ahead and peel off a turn. See if he can bink a king for Broadway. Nope, that's Jack for a pair. JC checks. Let's see how Jimmy plays now. 700 in the middle, 1.7K behind. It's the effective stack. Jimmy could go for a size up here and then a river jam. So something like 2/3, 2/3 would get the job done. That's 325, which is just a shade under half pot. Still going to leave a pot size jam behind if JC calls, which is just fine, obviously.
So yeah, battle of the glasses here, Aaron. Looks like we are a little bit more foggy on the left side of the screen, but tough there with the mouse. JC will go ahead and lay it down.
Yeah, recognizing that for that sizing, his opponent is just almost always going for value, setting up the river jam, and JC does not have the implied odds to continue. If he does hit his hand, his opponent may actually be able to get away from it somehow, and when because he'll have to lead jam, and yeah, just not a lot of ways to improve there. Ryan Crow joining us here in the chat. Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming along tonight.
We will cross the 29,000 subscribers on this stream. We're only 80 away, so if you're checking out this stream and you've not hit subscribe yet, this is your opportunity to shine. We'll try to give you a shout out here on the air. You can also ring the bell so that, hey, you know exactly when we're streaming here on TCH Live. Kevin and Sarah saying, Mike, looks like he found the brakes. You know, that's good to be able to change up speeds. TCH Poker, MJ knows Mike and brother shake hands. No, brother's got a hug. Okay.
All right, raise here from Jimmy. Ace, Jack of spades. JC going to put in the 3-bet here with King, Queen offsuit. And JC is going to do this with the knowledge that his opponent has a stack that could just 4-bet jam it in behind. Goes sort of walking down that dark alley anyways. Does get floated here, or flatted, I should say. And now JC out of position. 4-4-7 rainbow. JC with the range advantage, but just king high. Puts out a little feeler bet here of 300. This is just under 1/3 pot. I like this because it sets up a turn jam, and his opponent knows that this is basically what's happening, right? So even if he has a hand as strong as Jimmy has, which is a strong ace-high type hand, continuing here by putting in the 300 and then folding the turn is going to be pretty gross for him. So let's see here. 5 of hearts. And now JC, he's got a very natural jam with his range advantage. He is going to put the chips across the line, and now this is putting Jimmy to the test. Jimmy came here with a shorter stack. He's not going to have the same level of playability as some of the other players with the deeper stacks here, and now this is his first all indecision, and he is going to click fold. All right, JC gets away with that one. Jimmy chips down to 1.5K, so that was sort of something I was looking forward to seeing is how players would navigate, how some of the newer players would navigate, and especially Jimmy there on the shorter stack, some of these high-pressure situations.
Thank you, Rahul Lal and Payman Manesh. You are now subscribers. You have joined the exclusive club of the finest chat pros in the land. Kind of feel like the St. Louis Cardinals thing. The best fans in poker. You guys are the best fans in poker here in the TCH live chat. If you really truly want to be elite, you can hit us up here with a super sticker, super chat. And we appreciate you all joining us. Again, keep banging away that like button for us. It does help. We do appreciate it. And we sweat profusely until we get the number that we desire, or else that we do get taken out back and beaten with pipes. Nobody will ever hear my, okay, being dragged out of here, Aaron.
Well, better you than me.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, I'll hold down the fort. Just
okay.
hope they break the pipes. so that there's nothing left to flog me with. Oh, Trey here going to blast middle set here with a couple of 9s. Bones on a mystery hand. Jimmy here has a gutter. Christian, backdoor, wheel, and flush draws. Trey bets 200, gets his 2 most reasonable callers. Well, I mean, we don't know what Bones has, so we don't know if he has anything to continue, and he does, so he is going to go for the check call here. 8 of spades, the Steamdola special here on the turn. Bones checks once again. Board has definitely gotten a little bit more connecty. Queen 10 just got there, but no time like the present to continue betting a flopped set. Trey does continue 400 into a pot of 7. Looking to get called by any jack. Any jack is likely to continue, and there may even be some hands like 2 broadways, like King 10 of spades, something like that, that was looking to find a favorable card on the turn. And Bones going for the check raise here, so representing the Queen 10. King 10 of spades would take this line as well, I would imagine. Now Trey has to decide how to play this. He's going to just go for the call. Raising here doesn't accomplish a lot, because if your opponent has the Queen 10, they're never folding and you lose to that. And if they do have a hand that is a bluff, very unlikely that they will continue for another street. Harmless little 6 of diamonds on the end. Now with 3.7K in the middle, let's see what Bones decides. I think the most logical bet size here is going to be somewhere around full pot, 3/4 to full pot.
What in the world does Bones have here?
I mean, he's telling the story that he's got Queen 10, and given the fact that he check called the flop, that seems very likely.
Very much in line with it. I mean, maybe there could be a 2-pair in there, but I
no.
would probably gravitate towards your line of thinking here. But
now, two pairs would have raised the flop, and very unlikely to go for a large check raise on the turn, because if you're behind, then you're never going to know what's going on the river. So I'm definitely not giving Bones any 2 pairs, personally.
unless it's maybe Jack 8, but that would be on the spicier side of life. Those Queen 10, probably the obvious candidate. I don't think 10-7 would be in Bones' wheelhouse, but you know, we have been surprised before.
10-7 of hearts, spades, or diamonds, definitely a possibility, but would be more likely to go for a check raise on the flop than a check call.
Sure.
So yeah, I think this is a Queen 10, or like I said, sort of King 10 of spades is a logical bluff. Ace 10 of spades, also a logical bluff, but it's kind of tough to find logical bluffs after that, in addition to the Queen 10s that are just the stones.
So Trey here with the tank. This is a big bet here, $2,200. Here in our 5-10-25 game.
Not too many people will find a fold with a set. I mean, you're so far up in your range, right? If you fold a set of 9s here, you basically say, like, I'm going to call my Queen 10s, except that you're not going to call, you're going to raise, so then you don't have any calls there anyways. So then, okay, what do you have? Your set of jacks? Does that qualify, right? Like,
Yep.
But if you're going to fold a set of 9s, then it's like, okay, then I only call my sets of jacks. And given the bet size here, I think you do need to call wider than just your top sets, which, no, here's your 9. So unfortunately for Trey, I think he's up against the goods, and he's going to just have to pay it off. But I do think that if he plays sort of, I don't know, in my little world of correct, he should just call here. As otherwise, I think he may be overfolding. But let's find out what he settles on. He definitely is pained and wants to fold. You can see it in his face.
Bones determined, has not given really Trey much of a look, has not really said a word, just been shuffling his chips.
The other,
give off any information, I guess, but this is a pressure cooker for sure. Will he hit call? Will he hit fold? TCH Live Nation awaits.
Now Trey has gone from the folding position back to cutting out the calling chips. It's such a value-heavy size. I thought that Bones was going to go a little bit more polarizing, right? The
Sure.
polarized bet, because he either has the stones or he's got nothing, right? So it's like I would have been more inclined to see him go for that. I mean, like 3/4 or whatever was going to be 3K, and he goes 2.2. So it's just like, please call me, right? It's basically saying to Trey's range, like, you can call me with your 2 pairs. Set of 9s is good. Set of 9s is good. Bones mucks his hand.
Oh, okay.
Set of 8s. Bones.
Yeah, that makes a lot
Okay.
more sense. That I think you. Surprised that wouldn't be a little tilting as to like, come on, man, like you're gonna wait this long, but I guess that's how convincing the bet was. That it certainly represents strength, and yeah, okay, that makes some sense.
I had a little bit discounted the 8s because I thought that it was a little unlikely that Bones would float the flop with 8s there. However, he was closing the action after the 2 other opponents in the hand folded. So it's not completely crazy to think that he could have had the 8s. So there he is going for full value, attempting to get called by the 2 pair. That's why he's sized down on the river, as he's not trying to polarize as much. So, wow. Okay, interesting. Very exciting hand. That was fantastic.
Aaron, check it out. We've got some education here in the chat. This is why I love this job, because you learn something new every day. Roll the dice. Asking for super chats, honestly, is just a little bit of a faux pas. We can send likes, but just for reference, begging for money is a no-no.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
I just had to do at least a chat pro voice.
There we go.
So, all right, we've got Chin Soto here with aces. J1 had to open up to 80. Joe calling with King 10. JC with a couple of ladies.
Yeah, looking back through here with Mike Titch saying maybe 8-8. So it sounds like he was on the trail there. So good call there. And yeah, I mean, that was a really cool hand. And
yeah,
I do like that Trey did find the call, and yeah, obviously when Bones sort of finds out that that's what he's up against, he's like, oh, good Lord. Like,
yeah,
I was trying to get you to call with your value hands, not like,
nit rolled.
maybe.
I think like we're probably gonna get accused of nit rolling, but like it's such a random, like when you're sitting there with a set of 9s, you can't expect. But look at this hand.
Yeah.
Look at this hand here. Though.
Yeah, this is hand in the works as Christian waking up out of the straddle here. This was a multiple straddles up to. Oh no, I take it all back. This was an open from Christian with pocket aces. That he was not in a straddle position. So open to 250. Joe calls in between. JC finds queens on the button. We're all caught up. Puts in a 4-bet here, as Christian was actually a 3-better. So my goodness, I apologize to everyone out there that we missed.
We just
the
got
action
so
leading
excited
up.
from that last hand that it's
did.
tough to just, oh my God, all of a sudden we are right in the midst of another Giganto one potentially on the way.
Yeah, so now Christian has to decide what size to choose here. The most important thing here is the stack depth, right? So the effective stack here is JC at 8.4K behind. Joe, of course, is sort of irrelevant to the hand because once Christian raises, Joe is, I mean, his entire range has to fold unless he's somehow gotten tricky. But yeah, here we go. Raise up to 3.2 thousand. 2 more for JC to call. If JC calls, it's going to be a stacked pot ratio of just about 1. In fact, even a little bit under. And then the rest of the chips will go in very quickly.
What a tough spot here for JC. He's going to have position on Christian, so if he literally does perceive that he's up against ace-king, which I can't imagine is the main thought going through his brain right now.
Yeah, so the 5 betting range is typically aces, kings, and ace-king. And JC doesn't like to fold. But this is a pretty nasty spot because the 5 betting range is so strong.
People here in the chat saying things are taking too long. Did you guys take a swig of my C4 energy drink and you're just over caffeinated? Like, you're gonna have to have some patience here. The finest chat pros in the land know how to take a breath and let these situations happen as we await a decision now here for JC. Thinking about the call. And then, like, if he gets like a 10 high flop, then what happens? Like,
Yeah, that's the calculus that JC is doing right now. He knows that his opponent's narrowed his range down effectively to aces, kings, and ace-king. You know, the strongest players will mix in, you know, some suited wheel aces, ace-5, and you know, really make sure that they are well balanced to attack the stack to pot ratio of 1 type boards with less than, you know, the top of range. But JC is going to find the call, and yeah, I think he's gone through exactly what you just asked there. If I get a favorable flop that doesn't have an ace or a king on it, I'm not folding. And
oh no!
wow,
Gross.
this is pretty gnarly because yeah, set over set is bad enough, but this is a 5-bet pot pre-flop, stack to pot ratio less than 1. JC needs to find the queen of diamonds. It's still in the deck, apparently.
It is. It's still live.
And now Christian flopping top set with that stack to pot ratio being so low. This is where he could bet something like 1,500. Yeah, there we go, 1,500. And JC has really, I mean, everything is available to him. The only thing I wouldn't do is jam. He could min click or he could just flat call. I think the flat call is probably best. Like, if your opponent is on kings, they're drawing super slim. But the min click is also, I don't know. It's just hard to balance these things, right? Like, what are you going to min click with here otherwise?
It's just that the fact is, like, if he's still perceived his opponent to be on ace-king, then it doesn't necessarily want to give him a reason to drive the opponent out of the hand, but it's also... It's been an hour into the show, and we have already seen, like, 3 or 4 coolers tonight that would make a show. Is, wow, gonna put a king of diamonds here on the turn, which gives JC just a little hope.
Well, no, this is actually
okay, yeah, for chop. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Well, okay, I mean, that's certainly true. And I guess we're just ripping it.
19,000.
Nope, twice. Running it twice.
He gets chop on the second board.
He gets a little piece. Wow. All right. JC bailed out for half of his remaining chips and a quarter of what's in the pot. So all things considered, this worked out like kind of. I mean, you know, it's hard to say that it worked out well for JC when he just got freaking omega coolered. But the fact that he gets to keep half of his remaining stack and get a quarter of the pot back is a positive result, given the fact that he was just way up against it.
I think his face is like a meme right now. That is the look of a player who just had to experience an absolutely gross one. Christian going to get 3/4 of the enchilada. JC will only be able to snack on about 1/4 of that. And what a unbelievable first hour here of 5-10-25 uncapped. We run this every single Monday, so if you're an out-of-towner, you're looking to try to get involved in these games, TCH Live List, TexasCardHouse.com, or text 512-843-1971. Yeah, that sounds like a made-for Crushed Live call-in breakdown from our good friend Bart Hansen. That just absolutely wild here. I do remind you that we do have the final table of the monthly main event that happened this past Sunday is going to be airing directly after this stream ends, so like 11 o'clock. I'm going to give a little announcement, and then we will go on to the next stream. And we hope to have you join us for a little extra time, late night TCH Live, featuring AA Round. Do you want to comment on yourself so you can smack down on the haters? Or otherwise I can fly on that one solo. It's up to you. If you got
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
No. Let's see here. So, well, we had a couple of things here in the chat that I wanted to talk about. So when you get quartered, we had some people saying that no, you don't get to keep half. You only get to keep a quarter. Well, if you imagine it, right? Like if I have $100 in my stack and my opponent has $100, and then we both put it in the pot, and then I get a quarter back. Well, 100 plus 100 is 200, and then I get a quarter of that back. It's 50. Well, I had 100. I get to keep half my stack. I give away half my stack. So it is half. It's not 25%. Because it would get matched by my opponent. Anyways, so just wanted to clarify that. And then Will Lottie also had a question here. He said, is there any chance that you could get away on that turn? Well, the problem is that you've committed so many chips to the pot, and the stack-to-pot ratio on the turn was like 0.5, right? Yep. Which is why the 1,500 was a really great bet. It's like my opponent can now not fold. Like it is impossible for my opponent to fold. And so I think Kristen played that very well. And no, unfortunately, even though he now loses to a set of kings, JC just can't fold. He just simply cannot.
He just cannot. So $5 super chat from Dan, kind of the horny comment of the night. So so be it. Joseph, people talking about the NBA free agency. This is a poker show. We talk nothing nonstop poker. That is our reputation. It's one thing I've known. People have been trying to tell me, like, hey, maybe you should think about trying to talk something besides poker. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to give them satisfaction. I'm kidding aside. All right. Again, we're almost at the 29,000 subscriber mark. If you've not done so, boom. All you got to do is look for that word subscribe. If you can't read, you can direct someone to point to what the word subscribe is. Boom, then you can press it. And you've maybe gained a friend that can help you to learn how to read. All right, Steam Dola in the chat. Hashtag Steam Team. Hashtag Stream Team. Hashtag let's go do a broth bomb like immediately.
I mean, okay, so George, I know you're convinced that you've done the math correctly, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to clarify. Like you get in that position. Literally, what happened, and we saw it on the stream. If you go back and watch it, is that JC's stack was counted exactly into two halves, and half of his money just got shipped across the table. That's the way it works. So think a little bit more about it, and you'll get it figured out. Okay, Jay
If you want to
Wynn.
apply that math, by all means, you can go work at another poker room there and bring that there. I just encourage. Okay, we actually have a connected hand for J1.
Yes, indeed. Check on the flop. Jay Wynn with aces up on the turn, bet 60. Joe calls with the third pair. A jack on the river, so now one liner to a straight, but Jay Wynn going to continue going for value. Bet small, I like this, and Joe is going to pay it off. So very well played by Jay Wynn, getting the maximum from a 10, and probably mostly expecting to get called by a queen, but yeah, so well done, Jay Wynn.
All right, so Mike Gambler, Aaron McAvoy, super producer Carolyn here back here in the not bunker, not studio. It is just kind of a room where we have microphones, equipment, stuff. We're here. We're glad to be here as always. Monday night action. We have Tuesday up in Dallas, Wednesday up in Dallas. Aaron hosting Thursday. We've got Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme coming to Houston of the weekend. HTX is also now going to be going 24 hours a day on the weekend. TCH Houston is back, folks. It is apparently doing pretty well. So we invite you to join that, and then back here next week for Brad and Andrew coming for a meetup game Wednesday and dealing, or excuse me, and going to be on the stream on Thursday the 12th.
All right, Christian here under the gun opens it up with King Jack offsuit. It was interesting to see how people play King Jack offsuit and Queen Jack offsuit from under the gun, if they open that or fold it. Christian of the mind that he's
There's really
going to
two
play it.
types of people in this world. Those who raise and those who fold. Tell a lot about a person about how they play Queen Jack over the gun.
Absolutely right. Christian ends up folding to the 3-bet here, as Bones was the man in the middle, limped, or sorry, didn't limp, flat called the button, and Jimmy came in for the raise out of the 3rd blind, and he takes it down uncontested.
And new subscribers do get called out on the stream. We don't call you out in a negative way. We try to make it a positive. You can also see that sometimes pop up on your screen.
5 minutes.
What a night here at TCH Live. Lots of coolers, big hands, set over set over set, 2-pair. And we still got a good old 3 hours to go. So
Heck yeah.
let's see. Ed Barrage been in here saying nice things to Lottie. Mike J, put some TCH posts or merch behind you for the mic cam. Now that is a work in progress. It is kind of, I think we're, all things considered, producer David did a fantastic job getting some lighting back here. I can't tell if I'm going back to college and I'm going to try to do some co-ed that's not interested in me, but you know, it does have a different vibe back here, Aaron.
Absolutely
I'm
right.
going to move a little further away now. Okay. Scott Schlein, I'm here as a new subscriber because of Rhonda telling me about it. Well, thanks, Rhonda. Thank you, Scott.
Heck yeah, welcome to the team.
All right, so appreciate your guys' questions, especially anything Texas Card House related, poker related, event related. You know, this is your time to shine as a chat pro. Mike Emmett, Aaron McAvoy here in the house. So we can't always promise you accurate information, but we will try to be occasionally funny. And this looks like a raise that I cannot fathom right now. Under the gun, King 6 offsuit.
Yeah, Joe has certainly shown some different gears here tonight, and he's going to show it. So Joe is trying to set something up here. Typically, that's what you see when a player will do something like this, make this sort of extraordinarily large raise, and then turn over a very raggy hand like that. They're sort of trying to set up for the times where they've got maybe pocket aces or pocket kings, and they make this huge blasty raise, and then somebody's like, oh, well, I mean, it's got to be this garbage, right?
Hey. It's like that Leo DiCaprio meme when he's like pointing up in his couch as he's drinking a beer, you know? It's like, wait a second, that's that guy who raised King 6, but.
There he is, right or yonder. But anyways, we'll see. So we'll see if he set it up and now he's going to execute on it. So let's give that man aces. That's what I want to see. See if he plays it similarly. Speaking of big hands, though, we got JC here with a couple of cowboys. He's under the gun. He's going to raise it to 125. So no big overbets or anything from JC. Just going to play the standard. Trey calling out of the hijack. Rhonda has the 6-3. She's got the J-Stack special.
Oh, no.
And Joe over there. Oh, we got a frozen screen from last week's stream. Joe here going to make the call as well. 4 ways to have flopped. Queen, 8-4, 2 hearts. Rhonda has the heart flush draw. JC the overpair. And we still don't know what Trey has.
People really like the booth camera. I think we're timing it kind of like, you know, every half hour or so. All right, Kings here for JC. Trey with enough to be compelled. Rhonda may also like to join this party. Bob's suggesting we should both be doing push-ups and sit-ups. It seems very, you know, counterproductive towards doing a live stream. I'll start breathing heavily. Like if you guys thought I breathed heavily before into the microphone, this will cause a lot of deep discomfort. All right, he's going to pair up. No, not pair up a 6. Trey still with a hand to be determined. Could it be Jack 10? Could it be Ace-X of hearts? JC here with Kings with the King of hearts. So Trey's action here will tell us a hell of a lot about his hand.
Yeah, almost full pot size bet here from JC.
Thanks, JT and Rounders Live. It's a great stream going, great job, huge pots. Can't complain, man. There are some weeks where we're sitting around waiting for something, and we have not been short of any action here tonight. So bet a call. So unless Trey has ace queen, perhaps. I feel like if he had ace queen of hearts, his pot gets much bigger, but.
Yeah, and Trey just calling from the hijack ace queen against a player like JC. I feel like Trey's going to 3-bet that hand a lot. So I'm not exactly sure here. This still could be a top pair hand for sure, but maybe more like a queen, jack, even king queen. I mean, there are a few kings out there still. And perhaps Trey was on some sort of like flush draw with a gutter and just not quite strong enough to go for it all, and strong enough to continue and sort of realize its equity. But Trey does just snap fold to the river. JC takes it down.
There's somebody bringing up a great point here. 1,183 viewers and only 177 likes. Pimp the likes. All right, let's do it.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
That's right. All right. Next hand. Nick from Yuma. Youngblood is the Iowa Flip Cup champion. Who's the runner-up, actually? The champion, nobody's beating that guy. Clearly, when you're an Iowa Flip Cup champion, you're in the elite category. So, put a little respect on that guy's name, who I forgot. Bones here with a raise. And our light goal tonight, 500 by 11 p.m., which is totally doable.
100% doable. Let's make it happen. Bones here, yes, as you said, raising it up. 10-9 of spades, beautiful hand. Christian on the button, facing the UTG-1 raise. Just going to go for the flat. As long as you see a flop, everything's fine. Rhonda and JC in the mix as well. King, king, 8 on the flop. Nobody has a piece, which means that Christian... Oh, sorry, Rhonda is best with kings up.
Dewey here on the turn. Not much doing it for anybody. Nobody. There's king here on the end, the full house for Rhonda, but I don't think she's going to get any takers here.
I do like her instinct to go for value here, though. See if she can get called by 4s, 3s, strong ace high, but yeah, everybody's just going to dip out, and she'll drag the pot.
And that's a winner. Thank you for subscribing, Ricky Parrott. Thank you for subscribing, Josh K. Best announcers, TCH. Welcome. Hey, we're part of a team here, all contributing to the same cause, which is either exciting or irritating chat pros. And I think that's a message that we as a team stand strong on and united in the fight to expand the great game of poker here in the state of Texas. So, yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, it is a different time than what it used to be. It is a lot of people in that chat, all existing several different conversations at once, some of them very productive. We always hope to highlight the good stuff, but if you want a special shout out, again, a super sticker or super chat is your way to do so.
All right, 2 players in here with spades. Jimmy raising it up from the hijack, ace 10, and Gordon queen 4. 10 high flop, pretty good for Jimmy. Gordon has 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, but not really too much you can do with that. You'd prefer to take a hand like 5-6 and turn it into a bluff. Although Gordon may decide to go for a float here, as he can pick up some equity, and if his opponent checks back the turn, then he might be able to take something away later. So he is going to float it, see what happens. Gonna be an ace of clubs, and Jimmy's gonna turn aces up, top 2 pair here. And now Gordon with the gutter to the wheel, and that's it. Yeah, I can just go ahead and fold, get out of the way. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, every time we keep mentioning 6-3, it's also the Carlo hand. And let's see, what else do we got going on here at your Texas Card House? Again, we had our monthly main event last week, on last Sunday. Aaron was part of the final 9 on that, so we will re-air a more condensed version down to an hour after this stream is done that if you want to watch. So it's not going to be the full-on whole thing. It'll be about 50 minutes to an hour or so of the condensed time from the monthly main event. We have one more monthly main event here throughout the month of August. And then we have got all 6 of our Step 2 winners then colliding in the Step 3 semi-annual event for the right to go to Steps 4, the WPT Steps Championship. Again, if you want more details, check out TexasCardHouse.com and you can get it right there. So we've got Juggalos, Jacks, Judys, JJ Reddicks, Gordon here with Ace Queen. He hasn't had a hand in a while. We'll see what route he chooses to go here.
Yeah, once again, this is a similar situation to what we saw before where JC put in the 3-bet against Jimmy's open, where Jimmy just doesn't have enough chips behind to where you can really 3-bet and fold. So Gordon is ready to pile it in here. Puts in the 3-bet up to 400. Joe had called in between as well, so Gordon has a little bit of extra incentive to try to squeeze his opponents out of the pot here, as there is some more dead money floating about. I don't think Jimmy came here to fold jacks for his short stack, and he is going to pile it. There we go. Joe's out of the way. Back over to Gordon. I imagine he's just going to get the full count to know exactly what he is doing to himself, but I don't think Gordon is going to fold.
Obviously, really weird after that, where I was like, okay, listen. The innocent question, I genuinely didn't know what it meant.
Yep, down to shove. Gordon now put in a kind of a peculiar spot, but got a few questions here. I'll try to see if we can answer. We do want to give a shout out to Alex Winston. Thank you for subscribing. Trying to get above 29,000 subscribers tonight, and but we're almost there. Almost there.
Yeah, that subscribership is just going full beast mode. So shout out to all of you guys for signing up, for being part of the team. And
You got a
coming
call?
along with us. Yeah, we do. Gordon's gonna go for it, and he is flipping. Needs to hit one of those jacks on the river along with an ace or queen. He's not gonna do it, and they did just grip it and rip it. So pocket jacks, 2 Judys is gonna hold up, and Gordon gonna ship the double over to Jimmy.
Yeah, there is winner there for Jimmy's. Getting started to kind of both of our lower stacks, which, you know, for this game, for 5-10, calling what they have a short stack seems kind of bizarre, but it is kind of how the way things go here at Texas Poker. SO, why don't you guys go on Twitch? Well, I mean, we've had this debate, I think, over the last year and a half. There's been many reasons from us, from a visibility side to a, hey, let's keep everything consistent on one channel side, build up the audience. Maybe that is something that is done in the future to help diversify, but Twitch on a streaming poker, I don't know. There hasn't been a ton of evidence to suggest that it's going to give us a massive bump for the extra work to put in. So it has not been something we haven't thought about, but it is, you know, something with its own roadblocks. Thank you for subscribing, Scott Brook, and thank you for subscribing, Edward Rockers. Don't think that's Scott Brooks, the former Washington Wizards head coach, but, you know, he is unemployed, so he might be enjoying the TCH Live now. Well, actually, I think he signed up to go coach for the Lakers, so. All right.
A little bit earlier on, too, we did want to make sure that everybody got a shout out. Howard Diamond, thank you very much for the subscription. We appreciate you coming along with us. And Alex Winston as well. So thank you guys for signing up. Anybody who is not subscribed, make sure that you are logged in on your YouTube account. Subscribe to the TCH Live channel. That's how you will acquire your TCH Live loyalty points. All right, Jay Win here, ace king offsuit in the straddle, raising it up to 225 after what appeared to be several limpers came in.
Wow, Joe here deciding he's going to test Jay Wen's patience here.
Yeah, very curious. Okay, so Joe had done this earlier, right? He well, not
Raised.
exactly this, but had made sort of a bit of a move, and this would definitely qualify as a move. This is a flat call pre, then goes for the back raise. Is going to play it in position. Jay Win flops top pair, top kicker. Snap checks it over to Joe, who has 7 high and no chance of winning this at showdown, just about at all. Really looking for backdoor runner trips. But he does bet 725, and while Jay Win is not going anywhere, he's also not feeling great, because if his opponent is going to back raise, it's kind of like usually pigeonholes a player into like aces, kings, and ace king. He doesn't control a club. It's 3 clubs on the turn. Jay Win checks, and Joe checks it back. It appears that Joe realizes the jig is up. Let's see if Jay Win, yeah, he checks again. I like that. I think that Jay Win was sort of setting himself up to check call anything, basically just the whole way down, just see what happened. And Joe was done with it after the flop, so well played, Jay Win.
All right, we have a comment here. That's my boy Jay Win. For some reason, I hate JC.
This will not stand, you know? This aggression will not stand, man.
Hey, don't be hating people for no reason. All right, we love JC. He's been back here in the booth. Let's get it back here again here sometime. Hypermeter, is that Christian from Sulphur Y or just a guy named Christian? It's Christian Soto, non-affiliated. I think he's previously affiliated. Was once, he's his own man now. And I think we should celebrate that. Not pigeonhole him to one thing that he was. Okay, I'm clearly ranting for no reason here. But yeah, it is Christian Soto, Chin Soto, hanging around Austin here for a stretch.
Matt J, thank you very much for the subscription. GV Shyam K, I don't know what all those letters are, but
Gary V's burner account.
thank you very much for subscribing.
Hustle.
And Colton Tony
I worked
as
in a liquor
well.
store until I was 30. Yeah, that's Gary V's awesome, but I do like making fun of him.
Somehow or another, Eugene Green lost a gamble roll. I don't know how that happened, so
that
condolences.
is unbelievable. That cannot be a real thing.
All right, here, Joe limp calling. JC raising it up with a couple of 10s. Joe going to be playing this one out of position. Ace-7 offsuit does outflop his opponent for the top pair. Checks it over. JC goes for the range bet, 150, and Joe not going anywhere, goes for the check call. 7 on the turn to make things better. Joe now aces up, top 2 pair. Check, and JC now served very little by betting any further, so he does check it back. Queen of diamonds on the end, and Joe will almost assuredly go for value. He does, looks like 400, and I think JC can safely find full button, but no, he's going to look it up. He's got to find out what he's up against, and I suppose with the limp and the call, I mean, it is always kind of hard to narrow down what your opponent is doing that with. And so I don't think that calling there is at all like some sort of leak or
Right.
problem. And I think for the price, it's actually like 10s could be good. Let's find out what this guy's doing it with, and okay, now we've got a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, and sometimes you make those calls against players that you have no familiarity with, just because it's like just a little data point, just a little frame of reference, just something that okay, this is what he's capable of. And,
Yeah, I mean,
it may look bad in the moment, but all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I really know next time. But we'll see if JC.
Well, and he could have just turned over 8-9. I mean, like, who knows, right? Like, you until you have enough experience to try to narrow down somebody's limping range, it can be very difficult and nebulous to like try to fill that in. But like, basically, I mean, you are building up just like your own little range chart in your mind. whether you're conscious of it or not. You're doing it
Yes.
by building up these different sort of experiences from hand to hand. And
I like
and
to use the word nebulous. That's, you know.
Nebulous.
Anytime I can probably add one to the vocabulary or repertoire,
yeah.
you know, words aren't hearts. Okay.
Well, they may be hearts, but they can also be funds.
And they can also be hearts. Nick from Yuma says, I can barely hear Youngblood. How has this been like an hour and 20 minutes? I think I've heard one or sometimes I will push the mic away just so I don't yell into it. So I will try to keep it close and not inside my mouth. All right, that's going to be a gut shot for Gordon. J-Win, no part of this.
Yeah, J-Win went for a little bit of a small 3-bet pre. Continue even smaller, 150 into 580. I mean, that's 1/4 pot size bet with just not much at all. Gordon here with a gutter to the stones. Yeah, you can't fold yet, and sometimes you're just going to have the best of it when your opponent has like 7-6 of diamonds. 7-6 of diamonds just made a pair, but it wouldn't be betting, so let's see how J-Win handles this turn. 6 of spades, brings in the front door spades. Gordon does have a spade. J-Win checks it over. I suspect Gordon should just check back. But he says otherwise. He's like, no, if you can check now, then I can try to win. And if you do have a pair, I need to start telling the story now in order to get you to fold on the river. So I actually don't mind that either. So Gordon takes the initiative and just gets the job done right then and there.
Yep. On the road to recovery. Lost a flip there with ace, queen to jacks. And typically seen him in the 2-5 game, taking a shot up into this one here this evening. Mike Evelyn here with Aaron McAvoy. So producer Carolyn, producer David here in the house as we carry on with another night of TCH Live. Monday night edition. Tuesday night and Wednesday up in Dallas. Back here in Austin on Thursday for cash. Friday, we've alternated weeks, so I think we will be up in D-Town for the next Friday edition. 7 nights a week. It literally could spend every single day on this channel. You can literally go, I think, the whole year and still not get through the entire. I mean, I wonder how long if you just played every episode, the library would go. Would it go like a month? Would it go like a month and a half if you just played every episode nonstop all the way through? I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but I think we should.
We could probably run a calculation.
Yeah, we should Clockwork Orange somebody into a chair with their eyelids up and find out. I think that's.
Yeah,
I think
Nick
that's
from Yuma, I think that sounds like him. He's pretty much been here for the most time anyway, so.
All right. We're volunteering you for this experiment.
Yes.
J-Win and Trey heads up to this flop, 3-bet pot pre. J-Win was the 3-better. He checks this flop with second pair. Trey says, well, I've got top pair, and you probably aren't checking ace-king, so I can safely bet for value, which he does. J-Win goes for the check call, unblocks the queen-jack, ace-queen, the ace-jacks of the world. So definitely a hand that can consider going for a couple of streets, but let's see here. Trey, now after facing another check, if he doesn't want queens or jacks to fold, he's going to want to make this a reasonable price. Looks like he's going 750. I think this is just a shade too big to keep your opponent's check calling range in, but let's see if J-Win sticks around or not.
Thank you here to check to my buddies for the $5 super chat. Thank you.
Dude, hell yeah, check to my buddies. What's up?
J-Win gonna call. Queen here on the end, so Trey here with top 2 now.
Yeah, J-Win getting pretty sticky here to find a call for 2/3 on that turn. Some backdoor club possibilities that might continue, but the problem is that then you check and have to face all of your opponent's like value and bluff bets on the river, and you're just your hand isn't very good for a third street of defense. All right, what do we got here? 2.7 in the middle, and this goes up to 1850, and Jay Win quickly folds. So playing that one as a check call, check call, check fold, which is fine. But yeah, a little bit expensive there for Jay Win, not able to hold on and get things done.
So again, if you were totally confused, I'm Mike Kimblett. That's Aaron McFoy.
Wait,
So
who
wait, what? I'm
who
Aaron
are you?
McFoy. Are you Mike?
I didn't
My-
even know you were Mike. I thought you were this Mike.
Hold on, let me check my wallet. This
Howard?
happens every once in a while. I forget.
Oh my goodness.
And-
Who are we? What is the world?
Oh shit, it is me.
I'm sure
Well
wow.
done. I mean, okay, confirmed.
Okay.
It's him. All right.
Yeah, I'm just glad we got that cleared up because there was some confusion, and you know, now I can finally kind of get back to center. All right.
We just had a look at the chip counts there. Christian is the top dog, up over 16K. Gordon added on and is now sitting roughly in the same ballpark as Jimmy. They're both on about 3,500. And let's see here. We got some limping happening here.
Limping.
Wow.
Can you
limp
name
pop.
that video where that's from? Limping. First chat pro to get it. I don't have an incentive, but
Rhonda with the mystery hand, but everybody else has a little bit of a piece. Christian up and down straight draw. Joe, second pair top kicker. And those are the two hands that are going to continue to a turn. Ace of diamonds. Joe now top pair and third pair. So whatever that is, ace is up, and he's gonna turn it over and be like, yeah, I had the best hand. And Christian says, yes, you did.
all right. There were some Jedi Master Ted trying to do a rough estimate of the math. 200 episodes will be 800 hours plus. All the highlight videos, we'll call it 1,000 hours divided by 24 equals 41 days straight. Yeah, I mean, there have been streams that have gone 6 hours, one that we did 7.5 hours. There's been tournament final tables that have gone under that. So I would probably say that that's a rough estimation-ish, kind of. Well, I see the first person to get the reference here is Ethan, your biggest fan. He's been certainly on your case about deuces all stream, but that is originally from a
I
West
thought we were
Cutshaw.
ignoring
It's from
that.
a West Cutshaw stream from when he played on TCH Live. So
Yeah,
before he decided to anger everyone at Next Gen Poker. Oh Christ! Did you see that? That was a rivalry developing between Next Gen and Wes and TCH. I don't know.
wait, is that real? Or is this a fabrication?
Well, we got a hand here though. We will come
Oh.
back to it because it. Okay, we've got Trey with a raise up to, or he called a raise to 100, and then Rhonda putting in the 3-bet with a couple of ladies was.
Yeah, Trey playing this one pretty tricky trappy here in the hijack. And now, this is a large 3-bet as well, so a polarized sort of range. Ooh, 8 high flop. Trey has no diamonds in hand either. Full pot size bet here, 1.2K from Rhonda, and Trey has pretty much no option but to call in position, but you're already starting to feel like, oh boy, am I
Oh
losing
boy.
a lot of chips in this hand or what?
Rhonda took a tough one on the one of the opening hands between her and Bones, where she flopped top 2. Bones flopped bottom set. The board came out pretty bricky and just had to pay off an all-in shove on the river for Bones that netted him a pretty big profit right from the start, and now on her way to try to get some of that back. As
Trey here, sort of similar to the hand against Bones, is seeing ghosts. I mean, I think, like he's beat, and that sucks. But at the same time, like your hand is so disguised. You flatted the bet to 100 with jacks. I mean, you didn't put in a 3-bet, and now here you are on an 8-high board. Your opponent could be squeezing, trying to get all that dead money. with all sorts of stuff. Certainly not a hand as strong as queens, kings, or aces every time. But he has already shown himself to be like not pleased with how things are developing. He does call anyways, but 3.7K in the middle, top card pairs, 8 of spades, Steam Dola would be proud. Bet of 2.5 thousand. Curious how this has developed.
Certainly giving Trey every indication that an overpair is in the realm of possibility here. That Bone's looking a little bit dejected. Oh, tanking again, are you, Trey? Tanking?
Wow.
That was a tough hand, though. That set over set that Trey and Bones were engaged in earlier.
Yeah. And Trey here, he keeps doing the head bob back and forth, and that is, I mean, he's sort of telegraphing that he is uncomfortable in this position as this pot continues to grow. And he is going to find the fold. Wow. All right. I mean,
Yeah,
so Trey,
that's the fold.
his radar was going off. He sort of knew where he was at in that hand. I mean, he felt where he was at anyways. And gets away from it. Rhonda ships a nice little pot, but doesn't get any more value out of jacks. Just tipped and couldn't get another street of value. My goodness.
Does Matt Benjamin, is that Quick Trip Cup a deliberate product placement? No, I believe that is just somebody is leaving their drink there. I do think Quick Trip is fantastic, and I wish Austin didn't have like this stranglehold of like every gas station that exists within the city limits has to be the worst gas station in existence, where Quick Trip is amazing. They get you in quick. They got all sorts of stuff. But that's a rant for another day. But, yeah, shout out to the Quick Trip fans out there. I've tried to look this up. There's some moratorium here from allowing anybody besides 7-Eleven or independently owned stations to exist here. Thank you for subscribing, Michael Brown. Appreciate you doing so.
Thanks, dude. All right, heads up to a flop. Joe versus Chin. Ace high, still best. Joe also has a gutter to the wheel. He's going to bet out. And Chin says, okay, yeah, if you can stab at this and I got jack high, then I lose. On to the next one.
So Christian right now, the big winner here of the night, has gotten in a really funky hand between JC, whereas 4-bet pre aces versus queens. They both flop a set ace queen 10. The turn came out, I believe, a king. And then it ran it twice. One board came out clean for aces. The other board came out a jack that gave them a chop. So Christian got a pretty good chunk of it. So there's a lot of candidates here for the cooler of the night talk.
Matt J here says, new to the channel, loving the no-nonsense poker talk. Thanks,
I
Matt.
thought we had lots
Appreciate
of
you.
nonsense. I thought that was the whole point of this channel. But
Shh, he doesn't know yet. He's new to the channel.
talk more about poker. Okay.
No, but thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming along. Kristen here going to raise the jack 8 again. He had it back-to-back this time. Gets no takers pre and just ships the blinds.
Andrew Romeo saying it was 5-bet pre, homie. I don't think it was.
The aces versus queens,
Yeah,
it
that
was. It was 5 bet.
It was 5? Okay, because
Yeah.
it was... Trying to remember okay, it was 5.
It was 5 bet, yep.
All right.
Yeah, because it was open from Christian.
Well, you know, I
There,
stand
like Joe called in between. It was a 3-bet from JC. And then, sorry. No, JC 4-bet. So somebody, it was, sorry.
The Christian Open.
No,
JC
somebody else opened, and the 3-bet, quote unquote, the 3-bet was from Christian because someone in early position had opened, but it was a small open. So, anyways, I remember
we had so
that
many
it was.
hands. Normally, we're just like, oh yeah, here's one hand, and yet again, big pairs colliding here tonight on TCH Live. Kings versus Queens. See how damaging this could potentially become here for Christian Soto.
He facing the 3-bet from Joe, who has shown himself to be a little bit wild, is just going to go for the call, keep his opponent's range wide. Doesn't want to go for a 4-bet, bloat the pot big if he's behind, and or allow his opponent to fold out something like King 6 offsuit, for example. Checks and a bet of 600, so just about half pot. Sorry, just about full pot, I should say. Christian goes for the check call, and there's a king on the turn. Joe snaps out a bet. Christian snap folds, and Joe turns over the kings to be like, well, my hand just got better and better and better. Taking a look at the VPIPs, Gordon hugging the Lottie line down there, 13%. Bone's not far above him, but Joe, 55%. That man has played a lot of hands.
That is a pretty high VPIP. So, again, members appreciation every Tuesday, all summer long. Summer has flown by yet crawled. Somehow, I believe members appreciation again going to last up until the 21st of September to remember. Mike Evalier, McAvoy, super producer Carolyn. You can follow us tch.atx on the gram or at Texas Card House to follow our, across the board Texas Card House. Stay in the loop on promos, broadcasts, special events, all the great stuff that you've come to know and love here at TCH. Limping, we've got double straddle, Trey limping, completing Jay Wynn with a raisable hand, likely out of the double straddle.
Yeah, this is a beautiful hand to look down at when everyone has limped to you, because you can just squeeze to your heart's content. And he's gonna get back raised. Is this real life?
What?
He did. He got back raised. This was the limp back raise once again. Joe showing us all of the gears. He's like, here's my transmission. It has this gear, and then this gear, and then this one.
This one.
And then I'll let you see the inner workings, because he's just snap turns over the 3s. And Jay Wynn's like, you had the best hand. Nice play.
Nice played, I guess. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, right now, 287 likes. Like goal, a very modest 500 tonight. I know we can meet and exceed that number. So if you have not done so yet, come on. Come on. What are you waiting for? I feel like Joe Bluth here. Come on.
Unleash the fury, Mitch.
Yes.
JC here is going to unleash his inner fury. Jack 9 offsuit in the cutoff, raised to 75. Folds through to Jay Wynn. In third blind, he's going to go ahead and complete Ace 6 suited. Not going to go for the squeeze here. This is a hand that you don't want to get 4-bet, so definitely just call. Flop, second pair, and the best hand. JC, 2 overs, some backdoor straight opportunities. He'll continue. Jay Wynn, easy check call here. Second pair top kicker, backdoor clubs. There's one of those clubs right there. That is not a equity improving card for JC. So when Jay Wynn checks to him again, and as I'm saying these words, they're incorrect. Jay Wynn is going to lead out for 300, almost full pot size, and gets his opponent to fold. So Jay Wynn there taking the initiative, saying, you know what, I've got so much of this board and you rarely have me beat that I can afford to bet and still call a raise, so why not? Let's do it. See what happens, and gets the fold.
All right, Mike Evalier, McAvoy, that junior producer, Seth, tagging in after he was out there on the felt. It's good to see you back there, Seth. Yeah, boy. Again, Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme making another stop of their Texas tour here throughout Houston and Austin. Going to be in H-Town over the weekend out in Spring, Texas. Invite you to join us on the weekend there, the 7th and the 8th. And then rolling on in here to Austin, meetup game on Wednesday. And then going to be doing the live stream on Thursday. Not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. We look forward to seeing you there. We've got a raise up by Gordon. Commissioner Gordon, as we've called him in the past, got on.
And several players with spades represented here. So 4 ways to a flop. There's a club in the window. Jay Wynn with clubs, but it's king high. The queen behind it. So Gordon, second pair top kicker. That is the best hand. Checks over to him. That's 125. And Jay Wynn with 2 backdoors is going to float this. This is not something I would generally recommend, but deuce here on the turn doesn't really do much for him. He's not going to call with a lot of deuces even probably, although he's going to have way more deuces than Gordon if he is going to call. Certainly that is true. Gordon checks back the turn for pot control, bet a 150, and Gordon snaps him off. Yeah, Jay Wynn, very interesting line there, and telling a story that is basically designed just to get ace high to fold, and even a strong ace high like ace jack just may not do it. But creative attempt there from Jay Wynn. Gordon finds the call, and we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, a small stab that doesn't quite work out, but all right. What else? Again, we have our Bad Beat Jackpot special throughout August. Again, everybody wins. No matter what location you're in, the Bad Beat Jackpot hits everybody in the building. And each of our buildings is getting $100. So
Oh, yeah.
you can see some of the progressive jackpots and how they escalate on our website, TexasCardHouse.com. The new Bad Beat, Beat the Heat here at Texas Card House, all throughout the great state of Tejas.
Yeah, so it like starts high. You got to like beat like some sort of massive straight flush,
crazy hand,
and then it gets progressively easier to quote unquote easier to happen, and then yeah, I mean it just keeps going down until it's like it could literally be like you need to beat.
It'll be like if ace high beats king high, dude.
The bad beat.
That's not a bad beat. That would be the fastest hitting jackpot. Have you had somebody who really never understood poker and they're like, oh, that can't be too difficult?
Nah, I think you'd get a table of people just
fast.
play their cards face up for a blind each, and the bad beat would be struck.
I'm sorry for some of you chat pros that are having problems with the rule. I do not have the control over the system. I apologize, but I am doing a show here. We are doing a show, so okay.
And we've got a dealer change, which means it's time for a bomb pot.
Yes.
PLO, 4 cards, and we've checked through to a turn, so that's exciting. Who's got something? Anybody with a 10? I don't see any 10s about. Anybody with an ace that wants to take a stab? I don't even see any aces. Who on earth actually has a hand? JC, Jimmy, and Trey all playing mystery hands. 2 of those just been folded, and Jimmy's betting with his mystery hand, so he's going to win. He had some cards, and we didn't see any 10s or aces out there, so I presume he had at least one of those. All right, on to the next one.
On to the next. Pack it up and move it to the next hand. Tournaments here on the weekends here at TCH. Again, Saturdays we do our $100 second chance tournaments. $3K guaranteed to first place. It's so easy to win, I almost won it. And our Sundays, again, our WPT Steps 1, a $7K guaranteed re-entry tournament, $165. Really good value. You get a ton of play, get a good amount of chips, and an opportunity for the final table to be streamed on TCH Live. So invite you to come out on Sunday.
Really a fantastic tournament that we run here on Saturdays and Sundays. The Sundays one, the WPT Step 1. I mean, it's like you said, you get a ton of play for the size of the buy-in, and yeah, I mean it's just a lot of fun. It's usually like the same core group of players around here. It's just everybody having a good time. cracking some bevies with my man Albert and such. You know, it's just.
I saw Albert in the chat. I'm sorry I didn't give Albert a shout out. He was in
Albert
here.
in the
I hope he
chat.
doesn't punch me.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
He's
You
probably
deserve
deeply
it.
upset. It's a very sensitive man.
All right,
Ace.
3
No, he's not.
hearts here on this flop. JC with the ace of hearts. The opponent has a gutter and 2 live pair outs. But when he checks it over, JC will just c-bet this.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm playing 5
Joe's played things a little bit squirrely in some spots, and I was gonna say that he shouldn't be doing it here, but he was sort of like touching his chips, and I was like, my goodness, if this man does it, but he doesn't. Exercises a little bit of discretion and does go for the fold.
I thought Bitcoin was playing a lot.
Robert Donaldson, what's wrong with the stream? And like I said, absolutely nothing. Most people consider it perfect, but there are people with gripes about Streamlabs and their gambling. So,
What points?
you know, so we've had a floor call. We'll hopefully see if we can get that sorted out. All right. 322 likes, 500 our goal. You can also see all of our TCH live links posted there. So for the folks that are like, how the heck do I get some merchandise? I've seen a few questions on that. You can be directed through the link that is currently in the chat.
This is another sort of one of those cusp hands. Gordon with the king 9 of hearts. We were talking about the queen jack, like under the gun or whatever. To decide what you're going to do. Okay, never mind. I take it all back because it was actually an open from JC. We just didn't have it in the action tracker yet. So an open from JC, and then Gordon looking down at the king 9 against this particular player. Going to go for the 3-bet. King 9 just a little too good to fold and not good enough to call for Gordon. JC 7-5 of spades drills bottom 2 pair. And this is a perfect board for Gordon to continue. So he will oblige. Sort of has his chips bounce back at him. Tries to bet half pot, 325. And JC here. Not going to have a lot of check raises just because the ace high flops are going to be so good for your opponent's range. However, you do want to mix some in some of the time. And JC says this is one of those times. 1.1K to go, and Gordon says, oh, well, we tried. Looking at the aggression frequency, JC, as is the norm, up at the top of the counts there. Trey, Jimmy, Rhonda, all down there towards the bottom end.
Taking a look at all this merch here. You can get a black tank top, just be just like Duck Poke.
Dude, I
show
need
around
that.
with a black tank top.
I like that the model almost even sort of has the Doug Polk
It
smile.
kind of looks like Doug.
It doesn't have the build, but he's got the Doug Polk
It's
smile
got like
going on.
everything below the eyes would make you think that might have been Duck Polk trying to make 20 bucks here and carrying a stock image. It's like, I'm just going to put this in Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude.
Get snapback
Seriously.
hats, soft style t-shirts, champion packable jacket, long sleeves, hats. Yeah, that will be another long-term goal again, developing merchandising so the folks at home can rep TCH Live wherever they shall be.
All right, Rhonda here going to put in the smooth call from the blind. 9-7 suited. J-Win was the initial opener. And Joe now with a couple of kings. And he's doing, okay, this is it. This is the thing that he set up before. It's $70 to go, and he raises it to 1,000, right? And it's because he's got pocket kings this time. So he set this up earlier with the king 6 off. And Rhonda, I mean, she wasn't really contemplating a call, but she kind of had to make him sweat a little bit, and then he's going to turn over the kings this time. This is the time where I wouldn't have shown that hand, right?
Right. It'd just be
You
like
set it in their
remain a
minds.
mystery.
That you could have the king 6, whatever, right? You don't show
Right.
the kings.
Maybe you
But
show the 1 king. And
Yeah.
then you'd be like, yes, do I have a 6 or do I have a, you know, that's...
I agree with that entirely. But Joe has really just been showing a lot of hands. He's not really too concerned about the strength of the image or how long it lasts or whatever. You know what? He's like, screw it. I'm going to show you guys every hand I got, and y'all are going to pay me off one of these days. So
One
we'll
of
see if
these
that
days.
plays out.
One of them, Mike and Aaron McFoy, Here's your Seth back here. Here, what up? What up? What up, son?
What?
We always love bantering with Seth. It's kind of, you know, we could talk more shit to him than we can Carolyn,
I was gonna say, I'm familiar with everyone.
and then he could dish it right back. That makes sense. You were on the table dealing. King 6 is his hand, so we'll have to be on the King 6 alert. Okay.
Okay. All right. Jay Wynn here opened it up with King Jack offsuit in the hijack, facing a 3-bet on the button. And yeah, this is going to be a good fold a lot of the time. It is hijack versus button, so you can sometimes, depending on your opponent, think about playing the King Jack out of position there, but you have to know that it's someone that's going to be opening, 3-betting really wide to where that's going to be profitable. But Jay Wynn makes the disciplined fold there. I like it. Gets out of harm's way.
Thank you for subscribing, Antonio V. Looks like Ryan is without power right now. He's watching TCH live on my phone in the dark. We are giving the calming sounds of this live stream to power up the Crow family home. You know, I can't, you know, that really sounds like a fantastic night. It's like a good old throwback into the woods. You're living off the salt of the earth and enjoying a live stream program on YouTube. So we got a hand here.
Long history of that in this country. Okay. Trey here, raise to 75. Jimmy 3-bet to 275. Back over to Trey. Now, this is a candidate from the +1 position to go for the 4-bet. It's because you have such a strong range advantage if you do that and your opponent just calls, but that is not to be. Trey going to call this one out of position, play the ace-10 off suit. We've seen a flop. We've got a check, a bet, and a call. All of these things have happened, but we do not quite yet know.
It's got to be a 10 there, right? Maybe it's an ace.
There
Oh,
it is.
boy, Jimmy with top 2.
Ace, king, deuce. So check, bet, and a call. I thought I saw 110 out there. Yes, it is 110. Trey happy to continue for that price. Jimmy now no longer sitting on the nub, so he's got 3.2K stack pot ratio at about 4 here. Trey checks the turn. Jimmy continues. I'd like to see a size up to something around 600, 650. But it looks like this is, he's keeping it small. Bets 400 is half pot. Bet 400 and a call. Jack on the end. Quick check. And Jimmy fogging up his glasses there. Not quite sure what to do. Looking up at the sky for some. Nope, now looking down.
Heavens,
First he
now
was
down.
like, Jesus, will you tell me what to do? Oh, nope, no, you got the wrong answer. Okay.
Satan, what should I do?
And curious. Let's see here, Jimmy. 1.6K in the middle. You want to get called by your opponent's weaker 2 pairs like King Jack and then like Ace Queen, Ace 10. Bet 400. My goodness, this is. I mean, I think this is just getting called, but I think you can bet more. Although because it's so small, maybe Trey can find a fold, right?
Sure.
I don't know. 1,600 in the middle, I think you go 9, you know? Make it look like maybe you're bluffing. 2 bluffs for 400.
So I really appreciate that. Like, I guess the industry.
So here we are again.
Are the parking meter apps?
Trey here with a decision. And I think all of the time that he has taken has been within a reasonable amount given the hands that we have seen, but I really don't. I mean, like, we've literally done a year and 3/4 of a year of episodes. Like, this is not that long of a time for wait. Like, in respect to poker players that are playing for real money, like, you give people enough time when it's actual real money on the table. So
So that little bet, that little tickle there, the quarter pot river bet actually allowed Trey to find the fold button. He gets out of the way, and Jimmy wins the pot, but doesn't get any extra cookies from his opponent. And yeah, that can be the thing that you know. Trey's a sharp player. He's been around the block. He's seen some stuff before, and you see somebody just tickle the pot on the river. Like, are they bluffing? Like, what? Who does that? Right. So Trey gets out of there, saves himself 400, and probably quite a bit more.
Hawaii boy, as usual, asking if this is live. I think we just need to acknowledge that. I know that he's doing a bit, and we are out there. So we're looking into the stream bot thing to see if they are, if there's something fluky going on there. Certainly, we would do nothing to try to harvest your loyalty points and sell the data. Like, that's not a thing.
Just organs.
I
That's
mean,
all we
but-
harvest around here.
I mean, I've had my theory before of the hamster wheel and the 4 or 5 hamsters that we use in rotation that basically power this live stream, and one of them gets tired. All of a sudden, we're not at optimal levels. So Whiskers not on top of his game here tonight, but Fluffy has got a chance to really step up. All right.
Gordon gonna limp into the third blind, so heads up to a flop, and Bones gets top 2 pair, and Gordon has ace high. This is going to be a check, bet at 25, and a call. Gordon can't go anywhere yet with the ace high. Gonna go check, bet, and fold now here on the turn. That's my prognostication.
That was runner-up.
Yeah, right?
New York,
California was
Pretty solid prognog there, sir.
Prognog.
Your prognog?
Yeah, who wants to see my
New
prognog?
term that we've developed now. What's your prognog here?
Ooh,
Like,
cumulative
what?
winnings. Christian up 5.5K, Trey up 4, Jimmy 2.7, Rhonda stuck 4.6, JC stuck 4.3. So there we have the edges of the spectrum. I'm going to step out, grab
Sure.
myself
do you wanna
some more
do it?
water,
We're
and
gonna
use
have
the
a
restroom.
camera on us in like 2 minutes. I don't know if it just
2 minutes.
or after this hand. I think that's our camera interjection. I just don't want to be here by myself, and then people are like, "Is that Aaron or is that Mike?" I'm so confused.
Oh yeah, that's right. We
I'm
need
so
we need the
confused.
contrast.
I love his said,
Life is flashing before my eyes.
You're right. I
I said,
can survive until we're on the screen.
girl, my fucking ass.
Glad. Real, it's
Me
strength and bravery and courage.
I'm really a hero. Like
Really,
I need a cape,
hero. Yeah.
a TCH
Without a
Live
cape.
cape that you could buy with TCH Live
Strong
loyalty
and
points.
brave.
We need that. Can we put that down? A cape? Okay. For hero calling
Yeah.
only. All right. Trey folds the ace-10. We're over to Joe here. I believe that was ace-10. Ace-jack, he's going to call. After JC raised it up from the button. Ace-5 suited. He is going to flop the superior hand with a pair of fives.
Be honest, you say,
But Joe has 2 overs and a spade. There's a 6 of clubs on the turn, so JC going to be just a little bit further out in front than the 2% edge he had there on the flop.
I'm like, honey, do not pay
Joe goes for the check call of 150. JC testing the waters and setting himself up to check back the river for pot control. They are going to chop this as JC's 3 pair gets counterfeit. And there you go, 20 bucks a piece.
Looks like I've ruled a 48 on the Streamlabs.
Dude, bro, I bet I still have 0
Dude,
loyalty
that might be
points.
the case.
If I still have 0 loyalty points after all this time, do you
Hey,
even?
you know, maybe you should have just been more loyal, huh? Let me
Dude.
see. But are we on camera? Like, I'm gonna make a funny face here. Last time somebody was like, I got too close to it and I saw up my nose. You're like, you got a big nose hair sticking out.
Wow.
I'm finally at that age where you're just not ashamed of it anymore.
I'm on the board. I have 1 TCH Live loyalty
Yes!
point. I thought I would have earned more by now, but you know what? Here we are, people. I have 1. I have 1 now. It's like a
Alright, so-
tiered system, you know? It's like, have you been doing all the things?
Have you been?
You only get 1 cookie. 1 cookie. That's all you get.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, brand or what are the worst cookies? I think anything with mint in it, I think, is just the nut low of Like, I don't understand why people want to eat something that tastes like toothpaste. I still don't get it.
Wait, what? You don't like mint flavored anything?
No, it's stupid. I think it's pointless.
Well, yeah, we're gonna cancel you, Mike. Super producer Carolyn is on
I'm
Team
getting
Mint.
they're getting a truth bomb put on me here.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
feel like I'm
cancel
under
you into
attack. My
the
beliefs
dumpster.
are being put into question. We do have a hand, though, while we're goofing around.
We have a
here.
very serious hand developing. Both players flopping top pair. JC is dominated, and this is a large bet of 500. This is a slight over bet. I mean, it's basically full pot. And JC, top pair, top kicker. How do you how do you fold? You don't. You call, and you start talking to your opponent. You find out what they're up to. That's what you do if you're JC. Joe here with a really strong hand. Now he's going to check this deuce of clubs. He's going to give JC a free street and go for the gusto on the end, I suppose. 1.5K in the middle. He bets 500. Yeah, that's going to get a call from JC. Definitely could have gotten more, but JC is going to pay this off, and Joe will ship the pot.
There's a winner. Does saying you look younger. I always get accused of that.
And then in my head,
JTN here in the chat. What's going on, sir? Back to being a working man. Kind enough to join us. Captain Underpair, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks, producer, for showing the cumulative winnings.
Words are hard.
Straight cash, homie.
Eugene Green thinks I'm way younger than he thought. Did you think I was like 80?
Yeah, you're just.
Yeah. Okay.
When you started
Get
talking
off
about
my lawn.
When they were start talking about nuclear power, it's like, oh yeah, back in that 50s technology.
Goddamn kids.
Protons, atoms.
I've seen just about enough of this. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Am I?
He's got to go to the early. He's got to
gotta
get the
step
early bird
on.
special, and he's got to go double check his AARP card to see if he can use that as a discount for hours. So you don't need an AARP card to get a discount, though. If you're a lady on Friday, that's 50% off, and also members appreciation here at Texas Card House.
All right, I'll
on
be back.
Tuesday. Got a long way to try to connect those. So, okay, Jack 6-10, 10 on the turn is going to give a straight draw here to JC. Bottom pair for Christian Soto.
175.
It's going to be Rhonda now betting here with the best of it, but vulnerable here potentially in a couple of spots. JC going to make the call. Five ball here on the river, so
I have a 10.
there's going to be a winner here at Showdown. Rhonda here make the trip up from the San Antonio area. Typically see her around that scene, so pleased to have her here in the house. JTN, first night back at work after 4 weeks in class. You know it's nuts when TCH Live represents sanity to you. That is a little nuts. We always try to be a voice of reason to bring you top quality poker entertainment 7 nights a week. And also just a lifeline of sanity when life gets you down. And the one thing that can always boost your spirit and boost mine is to rear back, fire, and hit that like button for your boy AA Ron, Aunt Carolyn, Uncle David, Cousin Seth. It's kind of like Cousin Eddie of our team here. All right, this Asian Brandon Poker. It's fun playing on stream and watching yourself back. LOL, I had a great time last Thursday. It was awesome to meet everyone. Glad you had a great time there, Asian Brandon Poker.
That's what I said.
There's Rhonda, the 7 deuce. That's not like the 7 deuce game is on. Amber says, hi, Mikey. Good to hear you again. Thank you. And JC here with a couple of aces. Joe raising with jacks. Bones with queens. Or the 2 chicks at the same time. He's going to be in late position. And Joe, the initial pre-flop raiser. I would be shocked if he folds this pre. He's definitely going to try to take this three ways. His pot of just above 1,800. Aces, queens, and jack. Big pair Monday on TCH Live. 856, slightly connected board rainbow. JC way ahead at this point, but Bones last act. JC in the middle. 800 will assuredly probably be a call for Bones. I don't know what happens once it comes back around to Joe. That he could choose a super spicy line if he wants to with the overpair, but I find that probably unlikely. There's going to be called in 2 spots. You know, just what you love here when you have aces on the 8-5-6 board. Called in 2 spots. 9 here on the turn may slow down the action. I don't know if that will slow down JD. Can he really sit there and think, like, did Bones call a 3-bet to 600 with a 7x in his hand? Probably not likely. But Joe may be the wild card in this equation that he is currently trying to solve here with 4,200 in the middle.
Yeah, this is like the nut worst board that you could see, right? Like for all of these players, they're all like, what is this? Like, can I please get to showdown, turn my 2 cards over already without any more money going in the middle? And when it checks through the 8 pairs on the end.
Casey actually here in the chat reflecting, and just pain, he says. Just pain, Nick, which is probably the appropriate response here, as I think JC, my inevitable guess is he's going to be searching for someone to pay for his ticket to Value Town. He's going to put it up on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. 1 ticket to Value Town or best offer. And here with 4,200, it's going to be pain here, it looks like, for Bones.
Yeah, 1,900 if I'm not mistaken. 19 it is, so just under half pot. Just not quite a tickle, but you know, in the sort of the tickle neighborhood. And yeah, Bones can't really do much here other than pay this man his money.
There's going to be a call, and now Joe, the third person to this one, thinking like, assuredly I can't be good here, and he is correct. A tough night here for Bones. Started off great, flopping a set over top 2, and has run into some cooler type hands, and it is going to be JC riding the roller coaster as we pre-check our feet pips. Everybody solidly above the Lottie line. No shame to be had by anyone. No dismay, no struggle.
Yeah, this game is just amazing, right? Like, this actually happened to me, except in the reverse order of Bones, just in my session before the stream tonight. I messed up big. Like, I just ran into it a couple of times right off the bat, was just, like, stuck big. And then it turned around. Like, I coolered a couple of players, and I got back to, like, break even and even just a little bit ahead. But then, like, Bones, right? I mean, just, like, absolutely just smashed it there at the beginning against Ronda, bottom set against top 2. He gets the full double. It's up to over 12K. And then it has been downhill for Bones here as of late. So that's the way this game goes. You take the good with the bad, and you hope to end up a little plus at the end of it. All right, Gordon raising it up. Ace, king suited, getting called by Rhonda and Joe. A lot of aces represented.
9-6 deuce. Nobody pairs. Not one.
Not a single pair. So Gordon can continue. A little bit of a range bet here. And Joe, just ace high. Backdoor straight opportunities, but he's done with it. Gordon will win.
Simple as that. Sometimes some hands are, well, not too complex, nothing to break down, but
break it down.
Brick. Brick City Nights here on TCH Live Monday edition. Keep hitting that like button for us, 364 of you. Taking a good look at that hand with the mitten on it, with a big thumb up there. and pressing it down. Whatever method that you choose to do it, if you get somebody else to do it, it's like, here, son, hit the like button for me. I'm too busy. I mean, we'll accept that. We appreciate all you guys showing your support, throwing in super chats, subscribing. We're almost at the 29,000 sub mark. If you've not done so, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. Here tonight on TCH.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'll take a break as well. So there's bound to be a massive hand that's about to happen.
I think that's how it works.
That's usually that's how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I'll do my best to hold down the fort. All right. So, Jay Win here. Raise it up to 150 from the cutoff. Christian finds the suited queen jack. In the small blind, he goes for the flat call. Heads up to a flop. 2 fours, a deuce, and 2 hearts. Jay Win here with a
Joe Michael did.
with any 2 cards.
Private jet.
He reached for chips, Christian folded, and Jay Win wins. Jay wins. Jay wins. That's just the way it goes. Dun, 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 dun.
Until he flew her to the United States.
All right. So let's see here. Pre-flop raise. Jay Win actually up there, tied with JC for the most, 23%. Rhonda down there at just 7. Bones also in single digits at 9. Of course, PFR, not the greatest indicator of sort of your hand distribution. It's going to be mostly a VPIP, but also that going to give pretty good look into the, I don't know, sort of the splashiness of a player. All right, Bones here, +1 is going to splash in for 75. Some sailboats, Trey, 9-8 suited. That's definitely good enough to play. Apparently the 7 deuce game is not on tonight, as we've seen several 7 deuces just go straight into the muck without a second glance. Rhonda here, ace king suited, very nice hand. Gonna 3-bet out of the small blind. A little bit of a small sizing here. I think if she's gonna go for the squeeze, you're gonna wanna go bigger. And indeed that is the case, because Joe calls, Bones calls, and Trey, and she's about to go multi-way here, and gets out flopped by Joe
If there had been 3, I would have chosen.
for
Similar to a shove.
the lead. Trey also with a strong hand here, up and down straight draw. My goodness, this is a check from Rhonda and a 2K 2X pot blast. I mean, my goodness. Everyone's just gonna fold. But we have seen just all of the gears here from Joe, and he turns over the jack and then turns over the queen. No sweat, no what words? Words are hards. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something like, you know, nobody had to like try to wonder what he had because he just showed. There's a word for that, but it was hard. I didn't find it in my brain. So we're gonna look at the chip counts and move on to the next hand instead. We got some people talking about Jay Win here in the chat. Seems that some people think that he's losing or lucky or good or whatever. I mean, Jay Win is just an absolutely solid player. He makes the rounds. He gets in on the streams, and he shows people what it's like to go out there and grind away. Fantastic guy. I love playing with him, and he got me earlier today with pocket aces. So you know what?
But that's who I am. But that's who I am.
Sometimes they just have it.
I've had that on a very small scale.
Raised to 75 here, Jimmy in the hijack, getting a little bit frisky. Maybe hasn't played as many hands as he would like to, so hijack ace-4 off would be good enough. I mean, and this isn't so far off of a standard raising range from that position anyways, but with 3 blinds out there, you are going to get looked up quite frequently, and this time he's looked up by all of the blinds. Check, check, check. Back to Jimmy. Does have a solid range advantage. Backdoor wheel draw. So he's going to go ahead and fire at this, just see if he can get the job done. It's me from the past. in the background. Rhonda had dropped something under the table. We were all searching for it for a brief moment there. Let's see here. So Jimmy went for the C bet. Gordon looks him up with the ace high. Says, you know what, you're going to have a lot of Broadway type hands, maybe some inferior hearts that are just going to go ahead and C bet. And if I look you up, you might slow down on the turn, and ace high could win or improve to a better hand. But check on this turn, and Jimmy continues. 2:25 to go now. And if Gordon really believed that he was best, then he could try to continue, but he would have to nut up and hold on, and he can't do it. So Jimmy will bet and take it.
So did aces versus kings happen again? Okay, probably not. but
No, we didn't actually have that, surprisingly.
Weird.
Uh,
that usually happens. So.
Yeah. I am Moon10. Thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the team.
Yes. You've joined the finest squad in the land and all around the world. People that, tune in from Central Texas and well beyond our borders, all across the world. So we are at the 9:17 mark. I believe it's that time. It is time for you at the Chat Pro to check on and tell us where you're tuning in from, and we will do our darndest to make sure that you at home get a shout out.
Well, either Rhonda found what she, or had her little device found, or that man in the background, her man, someone's man, found her a replacement. Not exactly sure, but it appears that something was found, and that's fantastic. So, mystery solved, perhaps. All right, JC here, ace, king, off suit, pre-flop razor. Joe called. JC continues on the flop. Joe calls. We don't know what he is playing, but JC is playing ace high. Check and a quick check behind. 6 of hearts. JC probably just going to hope to get to showdown with a winner, but nope. You don't have a winner because your opponent has a pair of sixes? Pair of sixes. 3 sixes? My goodness, the dude. No, 6-5. Sorry, that was 6-5 for 2 pair on the end. I could have swore that was 3 sixes somehow. But either way you shake it out, Joe wins, JC loses, and we're going to move on.
All right. Hey, Billy went over.
I was going to try to do something creative here, but
We got a chance for
Carmen San Diego?
yeah. I was going to play the Carmen San Diego theme underneath, but that might get us flagged here on YouTube. So
Yeah, probably.
that they are very sensitive about a lot of things. So Lewis checking in from IOWA. Brendan Fleming in Hartford, Connecticut, Rational Odyssey in Tennessee. Really, young Fifi, Steve from Montclair, New Jersey. Somebody got a new dealing job at a card room in Washington. Good luck, sir. Do your best. Nam in Maryland. Jay Young's in Sacktown. Exertion in Dallas, Texas. Tijuana, Fargo, North Dakota. Montreal. Hill somewhere. Comment deleted out there in Oregon. What's going on, Yonks? Good buddy Yonky out there in Oregon. Philly. And we'll get back here as we've got a hand.
Yeah, 9-4-2 Rainbow. Trey here, the pre-flop aggressor. Blind versus... sorry, Jay win the pre-flop aggressor, I should say. Trey calling from third blind. And Trey goes for the donk lead here. Bets 100 on this flop with just the 2 overs and backdoor clubs. A little bit of a curious play here, but Jay Wynn just going to float him in position. Float probably isn't the right word to use there. He's going to call him in position.
Honey, I will be one of those.
Don't see the donk lead too often. This is a board texture that is going to be a little bit more favorable to Trey, but like not so much so that he should get to do this with impunity. 10 here is going to give Trey top pair, so now he can keep betting for value, question mark? Almost full pot. Yeah, the problem with this play is that it gets your opponent to just like fold. Unless they have you beat, at which point they just call, and then you put 300 in. You didn't have to. In any case, Trey wins, and Jay Wynn folds, and That's kind of how it works, I guess.
It is. Just you bet,
Yeah.
sometimes you win, and sometimes they fold. Okay. All right, let's see who else we got out of here. We've got Billy and Philly, the decent sister watching from Indiana, out there in Ottawa, Canada. MGM Springfield, Northwest Iowa, Duval, Florida, Drew out in Nebraska, Gabe out in Oneonta, Florida, Seattle, a van down by the river, Michael and Celeste in Philadelphia, somebody out here in Omaha, Nebraska. Someone from the announcer's apartment telling me he's out of beer. I know I've been really short. I'm trying to save some money. I'm sorry, my beer collection is really weak right now. Suburb of DFW. I mean that seems to account for most people here.
Well done, sir. Wait, are you still rocking the keto thing? Because I feel like you've done good work, man. I feel like you lost some weight.
It's a gradual, residual, like just eating a little cleaner, eating a little less, and thanks, man. It's hard to notice because you just look every day and you're like, oh, it's still not there yet. So.
Hey, but you know what? The journey is the journey, right?
Yeah,
and words are just, I mean,
I'm
so gifted with words, like, you're welcome. But
the real diet was the friends we made along the way.
That's right. That's exactly. But no, like, it can be tough because to actually get to the end of the road, whatever that looks like for any given person, you have to start and you have to maintain and you have to like see
Stick
how
with it because
like,
you're going to meet that resistance point where you're like, I can't keep going with this. I'm going to succumb to all these whims. And will Gordon here succumb to having to be facing J1 at a 3-bet? It's a weak segue.
I had a segue too, but I wanted to see how yours ended up, and I don't know. Yours was pretty good.
It's decent.
But
J1 trying to trim the fat.
Okay, Gordon's way behind here. He's got no spade to even cling to. So J-Win checks, though. Gordon checks behind. And, yeah, J-Win getting just a little bit tricky there. He's like, well, if I go for the check bet, then maybe I can get my opponent to look me up a little bit lighter, but Gordon is just done with it.
All right, some more shout-outs. I'm sorry if I put Amber out in New Mexico. So a flood of people had given a shout out. Kevin and Sarah out in Sarasota. Literally, Kevin and Sarah in Sarasota. Wow, you got a whole town named after. JTN in Tulsa. I tell you what. In NOLA, Wow, in Keller, Texas. Josh Brown out in Perth, Australia. Windyville, Missouri. The Scottsdale, home of Angry Scott. St. Louis, Missouri. Down at Lukenbach, Texas, says V. Again, I think that is most of the shout-outs, but I apologize if I missed you.
Dude, heck yeah. And big shout-out to the couple of folks here in the chat that were sharing their own story about going on a diet or whatever it was and trying to change their lifestyle a little bit. Because you know what? You deserve to be recognized for that work. And not just for the people.
And shout out to those who are underweight that have gained weight. If you put on some muscle, hey, we're proud of you too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anyone who's sort of like gone through a transition, gone through some sort of like taking on a new challenge and succeeded, like that's fantastic. And if you're out there and you're listening and you're thinking about taking on a challenge or you've had something in the back of your mind, like maybe I want to try to do this or start some healthier habits, like you can do it. Go out there, nail it. We believe in you. You're a badass.
With another big pair here, and I started to cut you off. We actually had a confusing hand. Is Joe going to turn a straight draw, looking either for 10, 9, or 7?
Back to stream, please.
Chin here with a $50 turn or $50 river bet.
Yeah, and Joe looked him up with just a pair of 10s. We don't quite know exactly what the river is just yet. Oh, it's a deuce of diamonds. So Christian gets the max there, but 50 on the end, gets called by an inferior pair.
And I mean, we know it takes a lot of energy to be a chat pro. There's a lot of times where it's very easy to tune into a show for 4 hours straight and do nothing but bonbons, what were the Funyuns, pizza. We appreciate all of you who are now realizing COVID-19 was quite a struggle for everybody to try to change up some of your habits. So, you know, we're trying to be body positive, chat positive, people positive here on the live stream. All inclusive, Mike, but AA Ron. Other people chiming in: Slatsville, New Mexico, Missouri is misery. From somebody from Iowa, that's rich in irony. Robert from Arkansas, Rogue in Waco, and people also sharing their weight loss journeys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had no money on this. I know there are people that try to get like financially involved because that's the only way you can leverage them into doing anything. And
No, do Michael.
yeah, I did not necessarily have that set. I mean, my girlfriend and I are both holding each other accountable to be like, no, don't get cake. And you know, that's it's good to have a partner with to carry on. Comment
Yeah,
deleted.
absolutely, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man. I'm proud of my buddy here. Comment deleted says 3 years sober, yo.
Dude, baller.
We both lived in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is a very easy place to be drunk all the time. Not saying any place else isn't, but when you're in Wisconsin, you know, you are literally offered beer from the time. I think literally after your baptism. That's they put a
No,
Miller
they
Lite in
baptize
your
you with
hand and
beer.
say, drink it, pussy.
Yeah, no, it's just Milwaukee's Best just poured over the baby, actually. That's how they
Did
do
you
it.
see that story that they're discontinuing a number of beers that are? I'm gonna have to.
I mean, you can't be serious
No,
about
there
Milwaukee's Best
is-
being one of them, can you?
I mean, like
That was the beast.
it was like Ham's Special Light.
No.
A Miller High Life Light has
Okay.
been discontinued. Okay, here it is. According to Molson Coors, rest in peace, the following brands: Milwaukee's Best Premium, Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor,
What?
Keystone
Mickey's?
Ice, Ham Special Light, Key Lightful, Ice House Edge, Miller High Life Light, Steel Reserve 211,
What?
and Old English. Literally all
Oh
the
my
beers.
God, dude! That is my entire high school
Exactly.
life being discontinued. Wow, they're
I mean,
they're putting us down. We're back, but we're behind the shed. They got the shotgun loaded and everything. They're putting us down, bro.
There are literally going to be riots in the street if the word gets out any further.
Well, okay, everybody. It's too late.
It's
Everybody
too
knows.
late. We've
Everybody
already-
knows. Okay, Rhonda here has Jack high. Jaywin has 6 high. They're battling over a pot, and Jaywin wins because six high is superior. It was suited.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
All right, we got to the bottom of it. But yeah, damn, dude, Beast is gone, and Keystone Ice. How could you take that away from the poor college children
that
of
is-
the world?
But I guess they're going to have to fall back on Bud Ice.
Oh,
Otherwise, you're
good
going to have
Lord,
to go
but-
like Will Armstrong and get Natty Ice. That's a big
Oh,
favorite. of
how
them.
can they keep Natty? I mean, obviously different brand, but how can Natty still be a thing and they're getting rid of this? I mean, dude, Steel Reserve can't go away. That's not. You can't take that away from the people.
Some of them are more specialized brands, so they're like maybe they're still going to be Milwaukee's Best, but it's only Milwaukee's Best Premium, which is irony of titles.
Okay.
The irony of all irony. Jimmy Bluffett, my good friend Jimmy Bluffett here in the chat. God bless Texas. He is there. Lake Buchanan, Texas, also checking in. Wisconsin represents is Corey Wick. Go Chuck Beer, sir.
Ooh, Rhonda's playing. The dude talking.
Yes. No success on the stream very often with that hand, but like maybe she could bring it home. Bring it home.
I made a straight flush with the 10-8 of clubs the other day, so I did it for you, buddy. I made it. I brought it home.
Send it in,
And
boom,
top pair against an opponent, Joe, who will definitely be continuing. So there you have it. This was a raise to 175 pre and a whole bunch of calls. Rhonda here leading out with her top pair. Getting looked up in 2 spots, so Trey the only folder here as JC's mystery hand is worth a continue.
We're getting the full rundown of the hand. I like it.
I think we maybe had issues scanning some of these cards, so there might be a brief hold up here while we make sure we get that. There we go, right across the board.
All right, so JC's cards have not been entered in. We're unsure. not sure of his holdings.
Holdings. 10 jack, ace 5, 5 6, 3 5. Like, it's all on the table here as to what the heck he may have. Oh my goodness, it is DQ with a $99.99 super chat. What's up, Chatsville? Here's a little something to buy yourself some real beer. I
Hell
resent
yeah.
that notion here, sir. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, DQ. We certainly appreciate your contribution. And okay, we'll get back to the beer conversation in a minute, but we're going to pull on that thread some more as we had a bet of 575 now on the turn here from Rhonda. Joe here has not picked up any additional equity, but he is still sitting on the king high heart flush draw. JC's hand, once again, not scanned in. Don't know what he's working with. Joe makes the call, and JC now, he closes the action, but he needs to have something like Jack 10 or better to continue. He is going to call. He can also have a heart flush draw of his own. And there it is, bingo on the end, heart. 7 of hearts, and Rhonda slows down. Joe snap checks behind. This is when you bet your hand, because now JC is happy to check behind because he probably did have 10 jack or better. And guess what? King high hearts for the flush. Yeah, you got to bet your own hand, I think that's how it goes, something like that. But Joe does win the pot nonetheless. 3.5K. Ship it.
And I feel like with DQ showing up to us here in the chat, it's time just to toss those dollars out there to the camera. Mike Demblett, Aaron McAvoy here in the house. $99 super chat here from our good friend DQ.
Dude, you're a legend, man.
Hearts.
We appreciate you. And you know what? So I wanted to talk about that. So
Sure.
he said he wanted us to buy some real beer, right?
Okay.
And so I don't know about what your childhood was like.
My childhood was full of a lot of Milwaukee's best at 8 years old.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I'm too big.
Well, but here's the thing. I started off like, my first experiences with alcohol were like pretty early on. And then
This is fascinating.
yeah. No, I mean
This is
it's
taking an interesting turn. Go ahead.
well, but like the progression from that sort of alcohol of like the beast, and
Yeah.
everything. It just, it's just hilarious how everybody had their own like transition time of like buying real beer, as DQ said, right?
Right,
And like
right.
the other stuff just wasn't. It just didn't qualify. Anyways, I would love to continue pulling on that thread, but we have another hand, Trey here, raising a 75. Rhonda with number 1.
I remember when I had my first beer.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Rhonda here putting in the 3-bet, 425 to go. And this is a large 3-bet. She is out of position in the small blind, so it makes sense. And this is actually going to be a pretty good sizing, if she's bluffing. The fact of the matter is that she's not. She is going straight for value. King high board, I feel like she bet before there were even cards out there.
Yep.
She bet in the
bet
dark. Okay, she bet in the dark. King high board and Trey's snap fold.
All right, so back to Aaron's first alcoholism.
Well, no, not really. I just
Okay,
mean,
okay.
like, we started drinking 40s, and then we rapidly progressed, like, away from that. Because it was like 40s were fun and all, and it was cheap.
Sure.
But it tasted like ass. It was bad, you know? It wasn't real beer. So then we graduated, and I remember going to college. Sorry, I know I'm just rambling. But I remember going to college and having already had a palate for, like, real beer.
Sure.
And everybody was like, well, what should we get? 30 racks of Keystone or Bud Light? And I was
Keystone
like,
mascot?
what? Like, why would we get that? Like, why aren't we drinking some IPAs or something? And I remember just sort of being, like, out of my,
Out of your element. You're
out of my
element,
age group
Donnie.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, humble brag, yo. I was
Humble
drinking
brag.
IPAs and shit.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's
Oh, how about
drinking
this? How about, what was your first beer here in the chat? That is actually a great. I actually did not drink until I was done with all my high school sports activities because my dad one day said, if I catch you drinking, I will kill you. And I don't think he was joking either.
Oh,
so
okay.
I decided to not take that risk, and then my first beer was at a high school party a few days before I graduated. It was the smooth-tasting, always fulfilling, fresh taste of Busch Light.
Busch
the
Light,
official It is literally officially on our state flag of Iowa. There's a big can of Busch Light, so.
That's
Who
fantastic.
raised that, Ryan?
That's how you know you're doing things
Yeah,
right
exactly.
in corn country. All right,
Okay, back
Bones.
here to the action.
Raise to 75. UTGJ win. UTG2 3-bet. Ace Queen suited. JC here contemplating. Nope. Decision made. Cold calls the 3-bet out of the blind. Gordon done with it. And Bones. Okay, what do we do with Ace 5 suited here, Bones? You are an opener under the gun. Your range looks fucking, excuse me, amazing.
It's all right.
Bones, go for it. Let's see the 4-bet to 1,000 and just put these guys to shame. Here it is. It's not quite 1,000. It's like 925. Still pretty good. If Jay's wins hand was just a little bit weaker, I'd say he'd be done with it. Let's see how he plays against this. Yeah, he's not done yet. Needs to see a flop. And JC now closing the action. It's 700 to go set mining out in them hills. Getting 4-1 though. 4-1.
4-1.
You flop a set like 1 and 8, 1 and 9.
One in a million times.
And then you get paid all the monies when you hit it. So then you got your implied odds. All right, so 3 ways to a flop.
Always.
And 6, 5, 4. Bones flops the best of it with a pair of 5s. JC up and down straight draw. Jay win 2 overs, no hearts.
We've got a lot of good chat responses here. We're going to get to them, but we do have to fill our chatriotic duty to still try to talk about poker here. The Bones here with second pair. JC here with the straight draw. The bottom end of it. Jaywin probably going to excuse himself from the action here. We'll see, though, if JC he's like, perhaps if I hit a deuce here, this is a hand that Bones will not necessarily suspect that I've made a straight here with. Can't put a ton of 3x in my range. Maybe I can totally get paid off here if I hit my hand, but it's only going to be about like 5.8K left back here for Bones. So if he calls, like what, that's basically going to leave Bones with a pot size bet. They're just a little bit over. So are you? Oh, he's going to rip on him, and this actually might work. This actually might work.
But you can see the puzzled look on Bones' face. So here's the thing. This is the problem with JC's line, and you know this is my own personal critique. Of course, I'm just coming at this from my own perspective, and why I think Bones has that look on his face, which is, if you flopped a set, why on earth would you raise me? You have nothing to fear. Yeah. There's nothing in the world that you have to fear, and by going all in, you give me an opportunity to fold. But none of those things align with the hands that would actually want to do this for value. Therefore, if you're not doing this for value, you have either a drawing hand or a hand that wants me to fold. That's just stone air or something, which, I mean, there's never going to be that much of that. But it's really hard for JC to have a strong made hand here. Now, the one thing that Bones has to worry about is whether or not his opponent is going to do this with pocket sevens. Because pocket sevens is beating him and fits into this sort of nebulous category of like, it's not really good enough, it's kind of good enough, I don't know what to do, rip it all in, hope my opponent folds, and you lose to that. But if that's the only thing that you're really concerned about and the rest of it is air or something like threes,
sure.
I mean, there's a ton of diamond combos out there, right? Bones completely unblocks all the diamonds.
Could he perceive his opponent to have like a 7x of diamonds, meaning he would have overs, plus the flush draw, plus a straight draw?
Well, you'd
but
actually
it
be
is
behind
still
in equity
complex.
there, yeah.
It's still, this is not your run-of-the-mill ace-king versus queen's hand. This is some real poker happening right here. And the dynamic of this being a cash game is, you know, another wrinkle into this, whereas...
And this is what I love about coming in here and joining you on Mondays, that we see these high-level plays that we just sort of typically don't get as much of on Thursdays. But, like, the fact that Bones is not folded, right? Like, on a on a more
Sure.
lower buy-in, like lower stake game. Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Bones finds the call. This is
Yeah, he's
fantastic.
gonna find it.
Bones realizes that his opponent just can't have a better hand, and you just don't see that all the time. Like, this is great. Bones is like, we're actually pretty fair fight. I'm beating you. Oh my goodness. Drills it. We're running it twice, though.
Okay.
Running it twice. Okay. JC gets the first half. Bones.
Trip 5.
And they're gonna chop the pot. All right. That was a lot of drama for each player to pull back half the pot. But fantastic call from Bones. Big shout out to Bones.
Yeah,
for
that
making
is
call.
not, like I said, not a run-of-the-mill normal hand that
Yeah.
you see as some high-level thinking having to take place, and they're going to chop it up in half. Make sure to hit the like if you have not done so yet. We've shifted our conversation, our chat pro topic of the night, to our first beer. But one question I had, though, did you ever play Edward 40 hands?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I probably you're from went to Wisconsin. Like, I should have already known that was a yes. But
Yeah, well, actually, we mostly did Edward 40 hands back in Colorado.
okay,
Yeah.
that also makes sense as well.
Yeah.
So, because you started talking about 40s, and then I just started remembering some of the good old days. But there's some pretty good submissions here for your first beer that you ever drank, legal or otherwise.
Yeah, the biggest problem was that if you were going to do Edward 40 hands, Stone had to do it with Mickey's. If you did Old E or, God forbid, Red Hawk, like, you were going to pass out before you finished
Red
them.
Dog.
Yeah.
Or
well, we had Red Hawk. I don't know if it was a brand that you guys had where you were in Iowa. But the Red Hawk, it was like 9% malt liquor. Like, the Mickey's, you could actually,
that's
you
like
could put 2 of them
alcohol
down as, like, a high school kid and survive. But, like, dude, you couldn't do Red Hawks, man. No way.
Ace
No
is
chance.
Ace Jack suited in 7-5. Going to come out 5-4-4. Jimmy coming into this with Ace Jack of clubs is Miss Rhonda. Aces again.
Wow, and
She's got a lot of big pairs tonight.
Joe, with the way that Joe has been playing, I feel like Joe is going to put a lot of chips in the middle here. Bet of 200, very close to full pot. Pardon me, Joe calls. Jimmy out of the way, not interested in trying to find his backdoor clubs. There's one of them, 9 of clubs on the turn. Rhonda bets 500 and gets the fold. Interesting. Joe zigging and zagging most of the time in the right direction at the right time. Rhonda picks up the pot but doesn't get anything else out of them.
Jimmy Bluffett asking, I'm old, what was Edward 40 hands? He basically took 2 40 liters, or with a 40, whatever the hell.
40 ounces, 40
Yeah,
ounces.
40 ounces, and he taped them to your hands, and then you had to race to see who would crank them first.
Yeah, no, you couldn't take them off. I mean, okay, so there was like the bragging rights of whether or not you finished them before your buddies, but you couldn't take them off of your taped hands to pee or do anything until you finished them both. Right? And so, like, there were literally, like, countless stories of people being like, bro, unzip my fly for me, you know, like, right? Because they just were going to pee their pants. But they couldn't take the 40s off. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Peeing your pants was cool. You could consider AA Ron Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I've seen this go by a couple of times, and I'm sorry to have missed it. But Logan Wesner here asking about poker coaching sites. There's so many out there. Really, the main thing is go out there and check out the free content that you can find on YouTube. You'll find a lot of stuff from Doug Poker, as well as from pokercoaching.com, Jonathan Little. Those are the 2 sites that I'm familiar with. I think they put out fantastic products. You can find a lot of free content to sort of warm up to it. So check that out. And then, of course, there's plenty of other poker sites that you can check out as well.
Now, if you want to be the best chat pro and get the best teaching, my training site, Elite Chat Pro, if you sign up using the promo code THEWAY, you will get a free 30-day subscription. Learn how to be an elite chat pro. Also can subscribe by sending me a case of C4 energy drink, the hyper extended 200 milligram caffeine. I can. I'm drinking down a Freedom Ice because I'm an American and I'm free to be as pumped up as I need to be.
And it has Super Brain written in all caps right on the front.
Yeah,
which,
that's how
I
you know
mean,
it's good. If it was not
Super Brain.
capitalized, wouldn't have even bothered.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. A+ reference, Mike. I'm trying to remember which one I named. There's. I'm going down memory lane, seeing some of these old original beers.
I'm moving to anything.
All right, dealer
God,
change
how do we get old?
and a bomb pop. PLO variety.
You gave me your little Pokemon.
Oh, dude, but the worst, the absolute stone worst thing that we did back in the days of doing Edward 40 Hands and all that stuff was drinking jugs of Carlo Rossi. And yeah, I know you know what that means. And the memories.
Say that again, Carlo.
Carlo Rossi, that you get the jug. It was a 32-ounce jug.
Isn't a jug?
Glass jug of just terrible wine, just bottom. I mean, you literally had to pick it up off the bottom shelf, and yeah, no, those were the worst days after that you've ever had in your
Expecting
life.
Jedi Master type. Well, as opposed to lifting it up from the bottom. I'm just gonna beat Jedi Master Ted to the punch.
Perfect. All right, 10 high flop here, a couple of hearts. Let's see what we're working with. Trey here has a couple of hearts. Christian, superior hearts. Turned set of 7s, though, for Trey. I'm seeing a lot of not much and a bunch of unscanned cards. Christian going to bet his gutter and a jack high flush draw. Joe, 4 mystery cards. He's coming along. JC has turned the nuts. JC has the nuts. He's going to call. Has no redraws and only a 6 of heart blocker, so a little bit afraid of what could run out here. Doesn't want to bloat the pot if he's up against a bunch of draws. And
board pair.
Board
Bam.
pair.
7's full.
7's full for Trey, and so yeah, JC now throw up in his mouth just a little bit, but still don't know what Joe is working with. Christian has a pair of 4s. Sorry, pair of 5s. Jay
Words are
Wynn
hearts.
has nothing.
I should have worn the Words Are Hard shirt there for this when we were on camera, but okay. This
Check. All the way through, even Trey checked. My goodness. Wasn't going to
Trey
go
was
for value
the
there.
first one, and he was hoping for a customer.
Figured maybe somebody would have a 3 that would go for thin value there on the end. And it was not to be, so a pot of just about 1,000 is going to go the way of Trey.
People are talking about Mad Dog 2020. I actually never drank Mad Dog until I moved to Austin, and PFT commentator for Part of My Take was always tweeting about it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to try Mad Dog. And that was, I mean, I've made a lot of bad decisions, folks, in my lifetime. That's got to be at least in the top 50. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to make a top 50 kind of mistake. So do not leave this stream without hitting that like button and clicking subscribe. There have been a couple of people that have hit subscribe that we have not quite gotten a shout out to.
Players text your live stream,
maybe somebody should get on that. Okay, thank you for subscribing, Michael Kokonda. Thank you for subbing, Jerry Jr. Shabadoo. Okay, that's a Simpsons reference. If anybody gets it. Okay, let's find another hand. We've moved back to the Hold'em game.
Oh, freaking Zima. Yeah, dude, Zima was a thing too back in the good old days. The sugar hangover from those things.
Oh, yeah. I will say now that I've stopped drinking IPAs, I'm almost never hungover anymore. It's just like that carb crash that just makes it just feel like death the other day. Like that's no longer. That's the one positive part of my keto. Okay, we've got board raising on the button. Joe and Jay when calling.
And no 7s, no 8s, 2 clubs, 1 heart, some 3s and a queen. Joe here having a hard time getting his 2 cards over the scanner. 6 of hearts on the turn. Doesn't do anything for the hands that we can see. Jay Wynn going to go ahead and take a probe. at this for 150. See if he can just pick it up now. Maybe get called by a turned pair of 6s or an inferior pair like 5s or 4s. But when Joe's out of the way, Gordon will follow suit, and that's going to be the end of that.
So that's the winner there for J1. So again, at the 11 o'clock hour, we will be playing the replay of our TCH WPT Steps 2 monthly main event as a condensed version. I will also have a brief announcement that we'll share with you. And hopefully once we put the link out there, you guys will support me and my gender reassignment. So we're just about positivity, and we certainly, okay, I've said too much.
Well, you sort of just spoiled it. The
Yeah,
cat
there's really no point.
came
at
out
this
of your
point.
pants, started to
I am
bag.
now Michaela, and I hope you respect my decision. Okay, that's not the announcement though. But
Wait, now you're going to take it back?
I can't.
Jeez, bro.
It's already happened. Okay, JC here with a raise to 100. I
Jeff.
just couldn't let that linger on for too long before things could have taken a very bad path. So
That's true. Jeff, thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome to the team.
yeah,
JC raising to 100, ace 10 suited tray, dropping in a 3-bet from the small blind. JC, of course, going to call. Off to a flop.
giggle here at this Jimmy Bluffett comment, but oh wow, we've got a flop here for JC that comes up.
Yeah, a little piece for both players. And Trey goes for the donk lead once again. Trey's done this a couple of times, and seems to be something that his opponents will need to sort of cue in on for the future. Bet a 300, JC goes for the raise. I like this. Take it up to 1K. You have the range advantage. Don't let your opponent sort of take away the lead unless you just have a hand that is completely fine with everything that happens on later streets. And JC gets the better hand to fold, although he did have the superior draw. So well played there.
Jimmy Bluffett mentioning, I was so drunk on Bartles and James wine coolers once I fell down several rows seat at the old Cowboy Stadium. Those seats were much more firm too. This is probably the old days of like bleacher seats, and
Yeah.
people bringing up Nick from Neeme mentioning Four Loko of the worst brands of alcohol. Boone's Farm. Boone's Farm was a favorite of the ladies that I
Oh,
went to high
goodness.
school with. God, they love Boone's
I
Farm.
remember the Boons. Yeah, if you were doing things right, you had to have a well-balanced supply for the party. And so it was like you'd be
Yep.
going down the line.
Gotta
you
have
grab
Busch
it. Oh, we
Light.
got to have this. We got to have this. And it'd be like, what are we forgetting? Oh, we need some Boons.
Boons.
And we go and we get some Boons, and you throw it in
Gotta
there.
go
And
farming.
then, dude, and then you were set. Then you were set.
No clue where I'm at.
All right, raise up here by JC to 100. Gordon gonna full. Oh, here comes the 3-bet by Bones to 300.
Bones, you know what
Bones over there, hydrating and also imbibing at the
It's a
same
good mixture.
time.
So you got to do a little bit of column A and column B.
All about diversity over there in C2.
Unfortunately,
All right.
but yes, that is what I'm.
What do we got? Anybody?
But there are
Nobody?
some juicy
No
players.
takers.
The-
JC does call this one out of position. Jack 5 suited. When JC starts winning, I love how, like, his range is already just, like,
Just
several
berserk.
pips wider than everyone else, and then it
Just a
becomes
little bit.
this.
It opens.
Open and call, Jack 5 suited.
That's a lot, honey.
Joey Primo, say Goldschlager, anyone? Oh,
Yes.
great memories of me
Oh,
throwing
dude.
it. Oh, God.
That's when we thought we were so cool. We were drinking
Gold,
gold.
it's gold in
Schlager.
there, man.
Yeah. All right, JC goes for the check call with the Jack High Diamond draw. Bones just with 2 overs and slamming some Tito's.
Yeah.
8 of hearts here on the turn. Pairs the second card on the board.
You absolutely should come Friday night.
JC checks Bones.
Well, we have an open seat.
Doesn't even have a red card in his hand.
Yes.
This is a...
To be fair, Jay.
This is a card that he's going to check, like, even with aces and kings, right? So, like, I just... yeah, he doesn't really have a story to tell. He's going to check back and sort of see what develops here on the end. It's a king of hearts, and JC, with just jack high, bricks out everything. JC is going to have to lead at this. And he's going to have to go big, and Polar and Bones is just going to... Oh, wait, JC's done.
I think he's smart enough Bones can pick him off here if he's perceived to 3-bet a lot of hands and then checking back turns. So
yeah, Bones is going to go for value. About 500 would be my guess. We're going to get called by like 3s, 4s, and 5s. Probably all better hands would have already taken a stab. But even just 400 here on the end. Let's see. It is 400. JC does not have a hand that can, like, really consider going for a check raise. But he's going to do it anyways. And he's really he's stepping in it right here is what he's doing, because Bones has pretty much the easiest check call hand. Snap call hand that there is.
Yeah, it gets kind of it because sometimes you'll see it on the other side of the camera, and you're thinking like the left is first act, but it's actually JC here +2. And Bones in position. I get that kind of mixed up every once in a while too. So. Bones going to be the winner, trying to go back up on the upswing. Boy, this has actually been a hilarious chat comment night. A lot of people sharing out their favorite stories of where they've woken up after a very tough night out on the town or out with their friends. Bob citing a time back in, I think, 1907 when he woke up in the girls' dorm in my underwear, no clothes in sight, 5 girls were having breakfast, got up the floor and joined them. Yeah, boy, that, probably lit a candle. Old man. Let's see. Moose Duty here with a good one as well.
I tell you what, funneled beers, woke up in the front yard, keys and door, neighbors staring at me. I love just the quick progression.
Got
this
one.
to this to this. That's what happened, and that was my story. I love it, man.
I mean,
really.
we love poker. I always get accused of never talking about poker, but it's also like we can only talk about hand ranges in between hands before all of us start to maybe get a massive headache. Like the one that you would get if you drank a 12-pack of hams.
Or a Carlo Rossi jug, yeah. All right, 3 ways to a flop. Hearts and clubs represented. Rhonda has an ace, and there's 2 more of them on the flop. Nobody has anything to go aside from Rhonda. She's going to earn the check mark on the turn to 3 of diamonds. Checks through once again. She's like, somebody get something and bet. Maybe? Fires out 100 here on the end. Doing her best impression of, I don't have anything.
I got nothing. I got... Rhonda's a sweetheart, so good.
She absolutely is.
Good win.
I tell you what, says, the story is so quick because I don't remember anything that happened in the middle.
Most of my stories I don't feel like I can share. Like, I once passed out and I found a police notice on my fridge in my parents' house. I passed out. My friends trespassed into the city pool at 3 a.m. in my little dinky town of 1,500 people. The only cop on duty was in bed, got called out of bed to go to my house and basically issued a citation. And he opened up my back door and left it on the fridge. I wake up with a note that says, Mike, if the cops say anything, you don't know anything.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell happened here last night? And then I got the story. So that's my short story. Happy birthday, Barb, says Ronald Balls. Happy birthday, Barb, for all my Letterkenny fans here in the house.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you.
Okay, back here to poker action, which is what we're all here for.
Hearts, clubs, and 10-8 represented here. Rhonda flops the best hand with a pair of 5s. Jimmy continues after it's checked to him on the button. Rhonda makes the call. Jimmy looking to hit 10, 6 heart. 4 does him no good. Rhonda has now led out for 250. Says, the card's good enough for 5 deuce, and Jimmy gets out of the way.
All right, so Mike Imblett, Aaron McAvoy, giving you 2 thumbs up. You can also do this on the stream. You see a thing that looks like this, boom, you press it, boom, you press it, and you get magical secret powers that you join the force. Also hit subscribe. We're trying to get up to 29,000 subscribers here. We're awfully close to it if we've not hit it. Thank you to our new subscribers that are joining us here on TCH Live 7 nights a week. There's a lot of hands going on there, Aaron.
Well, there were a lot of hands. That's a lot of nights.
Comedy, you know?
It's stuff, man.
You know,
Things are happening all the time.
90% of the 70% of the time, it works every time.
All right, what do we got going on here? Jimmy folds around to him in the cutoff, opens up the Jack-9 offsuit. Christian on the button, Queen-9 offsuit, says, you know what? This hand just kind of sucks, and I don't even want to 3-bet it, so I won't. Rhonda has a hand that she is ready to see a flop with, so she calls, Joe calls, and JC had 2 cards and he folded. I don't know what happened. Someone go check on JC. Okay, we got top pair for Rhonda. She bets 200, and Jimmy not done with this yet. He's like, I'm gonna hit a 10 on the turn so that I can cooler you. Oh, he does.
Goodness
he does.
gracious. Poor Rhonda.
Oh my goodness. And she fires out 450 here, and Jimmy, who had like cut out half of his black chips before she had even bet, so he's sort of like telegraphed like, oh, this is pretty great. I like my life. And then he just casually ships it for a little bit over pot on the river. If anyone's been paying attention to how Jimmy has been playing for the entirety of the night versus how he's played this hand.
It's kind of a different reality, I think.
I think so. One might wonder if Jimmy has the nuts. One might wonder. It is, despite the quickness at which he fired the chips in the middle and how nonchalant he was about all of the decisions that he had to make, it is a little bit disguised. How on earth does he end up here with Jack-9? You call 200 and see what happens on the flop, and then you min-click the turn. Yeah, okay, it all checks out. Let's see if Rhonda can find the fold. She also has the king of spades, which could be important, right? Like, let's say that there was a world within which Jimmy had king jack of spades, right? He might do this. He might. But she has the king of spades, so he can't have that. What else does he have? What are his bluffs? What are his logical bluffs here?
Right. Would he
Really tough to
raise
find
with
him.
9-7 of spades? Like, it's maybe.
And then min-click the turn?
Yeah, like it's just Jimmy seems to be conveying some information, so he's now he's leaning on the rail. He's got his head down. His teachers told him head down here for the next 10 minutes.
Oh, is Jimmy going to show one? Oh, he's thinking about it. This is curious. Jimmy has become an entirely different person in this moment.
Because I know you're not going to raise on anything else.
And I love this.
Jimmy, huh?
Jimmy.
Huh?
But this is actually, I mean, so this is a lesson for everybody, just the tip here with AA Ron. When someone changes demeanor so dramatically from like who they've been the most of the time to something completely different, I'm not going to say that it's always because they have the nuts, but I'm going to say that it indicates something important, and you should pay attention to it. And Rhonda is going to find the fold with top pair. Jimmy shows her the goods and ships the top.
And that was just the tip with AA Ron.
Just the tip. Just the tip. Just
Okay. All right. There's been some great stories and anecdotes in here. Jimmy Bluffett mentioning Amarillo Slim used to leave cash in his trunk at the airport because it was the only place in town that, quote, had sufficient 24-hour surveillance that you could trust. That's an interesting little tidbit. Exile and Licks. When is JD Trick Time playing again? When is Trick Time playing again? Well, that is in a Dallas location. Dallas players, they are certainly very entertaining to watch.
Yeah,
And everybody's got their favorite player. They got their favorite commentator. They got their favorite show. Everybody has their favorite producer, super producer Carolyn. And that's just a fact. There's no other favorites. We will not allow it. Cooper does a nice
But
job.
what about your favorite jug of Carlo Rossi?
It's the first one.
I was always into. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't like any of them. But if I did, I'm more of a red wine drinker than a white wine drinker. So I do remember a lot of purple stains.
Purple stains.
Purple stains.
Oh, we got Joe here with the J1, the 4-3 suited, the 3-4 suited. This is mom's B-day, I think.
Yeah, 4-3.
So I mean, thanks, Candyman Ben. You're one of my favorites.
A lot of hearts represented here. Some hearts on the flop would be spicy, but there aren't any. Jack, 9, 3, Badoogie. Nobody has a pair. I take it all back. Joe does have a pair. It's a pair of threes.
Hell yeah.
Checky, checky. Bones will continue with his overcard and a gutter to the nuts. Joe will call with the pair of threes, backdoor club flush draw. 7 of diamonds on the turn. Joe checks once more. Bones now picks up a straight draw to the 8, but it's an ace of spades here on the end, and Joe now will need to put on his cape and find himself a hero call, because I dare say that Bones is going to bet somewhere around 300 here on the end. I kid. Bones takes his showdown value with King High. Decides that his opponent is a little too sticky for his liking and isn't going to go for it, so he checks back and Joe will win.
Yeah, there are some very interesting stories to people who have woken up drunk in random places. I feel like that's, kind of your baptism into adulthood. Bob mentioning a story, he had a friend drunk at the Taj. He put him in the elevator naked on a mattress and hit the casino. Boy, this guy just continues to prove why he seems like such a fantastic human being. You could do that kind of stuff with your friends, though.
Yeah, they might not be your friends in the morning, but
if you haven't, had a friend pass out with shoes on, isn't that the rule that if you pass out in your shoes, like pretty much most things within reason? If you want to get like
well, certainly the Sharpie and all sorts of things of that nature. Yeah, I mean
that's a rule. Like
I have participated in plenty of things. I have also had plenty of things written on my person with a Sharpie marker. It's a rite of passage, is what it is. But there's a difference between getting Sharpied up and like somebody sort of putting you in a real compromising situation.
Yeah, that's
Gordon drops the
nice
3-bet in
out
of the big blind and wins.
Thank you for subscribing, YOLO Connolly. YOLO. You only live on top of the moon. Okay, the chat pros galore here in the house. Keep hitting that like button for us. We're at 453. Our goal is above 500 here for the evening. We will have a final table replay of our monthly main event that most folks were not able to see. We had some technical issues. Let me just decide what longer the packages. We'll edit it down, and we'll play it after this stream, about 50 minutes to an hour. So you'll get a little extra time, but it'll be for the tournament variety. So.
And I make a pretty strong appearance in this.
You did.
Show.
I was so bummed when I couldn't do it because it was a great lineup and is a great lineup. But
oh, dude, it's great.
It was really kind of one you're like, okay, I actually do want to go through hand for hand on this and watch what happens. Where Yeah, sometimes some of those Sunday tournament final tables are better than others.
Yeah, no, it is going to be worth y'all's time, so I hope you enjoy. I may or may not be sticking around for
Yeah,
it, but
you're
I do make an
free
appearance
to-
on the show, so that's nice.
I mean, you can chat pro yourself. I mean, you can go home and be like, "What is he doing?"
That might be
That'd be
the
the best
ticket.
option.
Yeah. Trey here was the initial razor pre-flop. Got looked up by Jay-Win with a couple of sailboats. 4 still in front. Trey looking to take showdown with ace-10. Checky, 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 all the way down. Makes top pair on the end. Goes for value, 75. 100 bucks, 100 bucks. And the ace is a good card for Trey to bet, but also he doesn't have many other hands because King High would have bet by now trying to get ace high to fold. So Jay-Win makes the correct fold. Trey wins. And there we go.
Winner there for Trey. It's a great lineup here tonight. Those they typically tend to be.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of a great lineup of people that come here to Texas Card House, join us tomorrow. Members Appreciation, the best people in all the land. Members Appreciation here at Texas Card House. Tuesdays all summer long, 50% off your hourly rate. Again, Brad Owen, your boy Brad Owen and Andrew Neeme coming to Houston this weekend. This weekend, Brad and Andrew on the road to Houston, spending the weekend there, then gonna mosey on over here to Austin. We'll be here next Wednesday for a meetup game and a live stream next Thursday. So we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for subscribing, Leon Kozlowski.
Let's go.
And another shout out to DQ who threw in a $99.99 super chat. He is the czar of Mayersville, or Chatsville.
Yeah.
Yeah, the czar of Mayersville. That's, he's of all the mayors, DQ is somewhere in the czar of it.
Yeah. Words are
hearts. And I'm not even drinking.
well,
Okay.
it's all the talk about the Carlo Rossi and the Beast.
Yeah, it's really I'm getting a secondary buzz just from thinking about all the alcohol that we drank as irresponsible.
It's a flashback,
people.
really.
It's a evolutionary biology. It's a symptom that if you think hard enough, you can recapture your worst drunks possible.
Okay, Jimmy took his time and sort of fumbled around just
Aces,
a little
kings.
bit. Yeah, no, it is in that wheelhouse as he drops in a cold 4 with kings. There it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge. And there's no disrespect to Jimmy. It's just like, based on how this has all gone, and then a 4-bet of that size and that splatter, that tends to usually be top of range. So
Yeah.
that's the way, and that's the way it goes. Okay.
5, 10, 25. Chin gonna be first to act.
I saw your king queen, man. That's good to see, bud. You got a 1/3, 2/3.
All right.
I personally have never woken up in a yard or like out of doors.
I'm trying to think if I ever have. There has to be a time I've woken up outside.
Yeah.
I just.
I feel like I've always had a roof over my head, whether I knew how I got
Wow,
there or not.
wow. Check your privilege there, Aaron. It's like, look at me waking up under a roof.
Yeah, that's what
there are
that
people
was.
out there suffering.
Yeah,
Okay.
wow. Hashtag cancel. Okay, Rhonda here raising up ace king offsuit. JC flatting in position. 10 high board. JC hits bingo. Rhonda backdoor spades. She's going to continue. And did JC just snap raise her? He snap raised her.
Looks like.
She said 300. He said no 6, and she said okay call. And all of this has happened in the span of 13
It's
and
like
a
a
half
limit
seconds.
hold in hand.
Yeah, I hope she leads out for 300 on the turn. Oh no, but it doubles. Sorry, it goes to 600.
Okay.
But she checks. So then JC can only bet 600.
12, check raise, the turn, mixed game Mike, checking in, so let's go Rondo. So let's give him a shout out to Bones. Hello, mixed game.
Yeah, somebody needs to tell JC that
limit
it's a double bet. It's
Yep.
not a 1 point whatever that is.
One
or
big
2
bet
point.
per hour is how you cash.
Seat
this
open,
game.
live stream.
Okay, so 700. Somehow this has been allowed by the dealer. It's just curious all around. But 700 to go instead of 6. Rhonda with no turned equity really doesn't beat much that can raise her on the flop unless JC had inferior spades. And even then, the inferior spades have picked up equity with the 8 of clubs. So it's going to be really tough for her to continue, and her hand is capped. And as I say this, she raises to 1.5 thousand, which is a min click. It's like, you're going to min click me on the flop, I'm going to check min click you on the turn. And JC's like, all right.
All right, well,
cool.
I'm probably paying something off here.
This is such a bizarre hand. 9 of hearts on the end. Checky, checky, ace high, no good. And I love how much fun they had between that. And JC claps his hands, does a little dance.
Making a
Strange
love
hand.
Okay, not okay. Oh boy, there's been some interesting chatter, batter here in Chatsville. Thank you for subscribing, Gigi Wong, former NBA player Gigi Wong. But okay, that's probably not the same Chinese basketball player. Thank you for subscribing, Bennett McKay. Everybody's sharing some of their favorite drunk stories, or first beers, gambling mishaps. We are, having a good old time here on TCH Live, as we do each and every night. 7 nights a week, you just want poker action, no sweat. Austin, Dallas, we got you covered.
Absolutely. Man, I just got to say, man, it's always a good time coming in here, joining you on Monday. So thanks for the invite.
We've been overdue to do one. I know you've been traveling and you've got the Thursday show. It's been tough to coincide with the schedule, but I'm like, gosh, we gotta have a game. It's always fly by too. So
yep. Absolutely right. All right, JC here opening up 150 on the $25 straddle. Jimmy here cutting out, raising chips. Nope, just calling chips. Just calling this time. I lied. It is raising chips. They're just on the edge of the screen. Couldn't quite see it. 3-bet to 400, which is, I wouldn't call it a min click or anything, but it is a small-ish raise. JC will have no problem continuing here. Jimmy's really come out of his shell or whatever as well, because now he does not have the stones, but he is still bouncing around.
He's got a little swagger, a little pep in his step here.
He does. Jimmy got a little traction, playing with a little bit of a profit here, and he's going to see how things turn out. Ace-queen against ace-jack. Jimmy well out in front pre-flop. Let's see what we get for board texture, as JC will have position in this hand. Jimmy going for a c-bet on a board we have not yet seen. JC not going anywhere. So we will attempt to get the flop red in.
There it is.
Ooh, top 2 for Jimmy. Top pair. Effective second kicker here for JC. Bet a 325 and a call. JC really doesn't want to find a diamond or a jack on the turn. It's a 10.
Double gutted now.
Does give him a tad of equity improvement. This is likely going to go bet and call. Let's see, Jimmy, in the past, we've seen him go relatively small. Yeah, this is 500. This is 1/3 pot. And he has such a tremendous range advantage. It's a little bit curious that he has been betting on the smaller side in these spots. But he does go 500. And I think JC, pardon me, getting 5-1 here. I mean, should just be calling this all day, every day. I'm going to min-click this, and I'm not quite sure what this accomplishes, so I would have to ask JC. Well, okay, no, what this does is it potentially sets up basically a $500 river bet,
Yep.
right? Like he's already said, this is what's happening.
This is where it's capped.
The 500 comes out now, and then you check the river, and I snap check back on the end. Let's see if it actually works out that way. Yeah, sure. Jimmy checks, and now JC checks. Okay, so he set his price for 500, and it worked, but he loses.
Jimmy here with top pair now, all the way up to 7.9K. Some jokes being shared here. Jimmy Bluffett being like, "Oh, we're sharing gambling mishaps, dude. If we were doing gambling mishaps in this chat, we would be here, I think, literally till tomorrow morning. So I'm not sure if we have enough time for that, but let's see some chatter about here. We are almost at 29,000. Sitting here at 28,900 total subscribers. I mean, I can't really offer you any incentives. I can't really offer you anything more than my love and appreciation and respect. If you hit that like button, help us get over that goal of 500, and you and I and all of us will reach the promised land. So
we're getting very close.
Right up
We
against
have 458. I mean, that's a pretty darn good number, and we're almost there. So let's see if we can.
What's really the
reach
best
finish
number?
line.
Is it 475? Do you have a favorite number, by the way?
I do.
Okay.
My favorite number is 3.
Trying to think of what my favorite. I can't share mine, but it is very nice. Okay. That's clearly a joke. But where's the Bodo fraud guy, dogs? I think you're talking about Bildo. God only knows. Yeah, we all know he's in a place called. Let's see. Did I say the loud part soft or the soft part loud?
Godon has cards, and he will raise them under the gun. Bones.
That's a good thing to do with cards.
Has folded. Trey here with a playable hand. Not going to go for the 3-bet, though, facing the under the gun open. This is going to allow Rhonda to squeeze in here with Queen 6 of hearts. Joe, Ace 5 off, and JC, Queen 5 suited. So just the way Gordon drew it up.
Just the way it is.
Okay, well, he's going to flop top, and the backdoor diamond draw, which is super good. So, cool. It's actually
good.
Not bad.
You know, that's an ideal result.
Yeah, checky. Gordon, Betty, 175, and I think everyone folds.
Do you ever think we would do a hand if we tried to do it like the most simple as possible, like the most rudimentary level of commentary that would ever exist? All right, he's got big pair. He's got a couple, like, there used to be the running joke within the Austin poker community when they changed the hands up to, like, pairs became matchers, rows, colors, shapes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I can't conceptually bring it to life right now, but I feel like that has to be something we do of just, let's see how can we make the simplest, almost like Nickelodeon type poker analysis, but I think that's going to have to be another day.
Yeah, probably best left for another time.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to turn off, like, just saying, like, the actual poker stuff. Yeah.
Words and
you know, my words don't always come out good, but I try, you know.
Hey, you know, you do pretty damn good with them words out there. Some people don't like the words, and they just like, hey, Ron, you were making these much more difficult than it is, smart man,
Yeah.
Mr. Nuclear. Okay, guys, we're going to drive out half our audience here if we continue. Or maybe gain some new ones. The other guy's like, I like this guy.
JC likes his hand. Ace King offsuit. 3-bet to 400. Trey gonna go mining for them sets up in the hills. And Joe, 8-5 suited. What's going to be your first act? Out of position, 8-5, double gapper.
Addict 2 will do.
Oh, he's out of the way. All right, heads up.
Yes. Boo this man.
Boo. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, that's fine. 8-5 suited. So no, okay, full. That's
No indication.
Ace King against 6s. A lot of flops that suck for Trey. A lot of flops that are good for JC. This one's sort of right in the middle because it doesn't favor JC, and Trey is like, I don't know, I mean, 2 overcards, also not fantastic, but My opponent probably not going to 3-bet a ton of 9s and 10s type hands. Oh, now there's Jack and another diamond, and I don't have a diamond. JC says the same thing. So we may just check.
Check here.
And what do you know? Back into Broadway for JC. Pretty good. Pretty good result. Now he's got to try to charge a rivered queen. Perhaps a very small pair, 3s, 4s, 5s that could pay off a bet. Let's see, what did he choose? 900 went for full pot, which was the other side of the coin, which was targeting a rivered 2-pair type hand. Queen, deuce suited, something of that nature. Just not a lot of hands that you can find out there that would have come in from under the gun. Yeah, no, they really don't exist. But he went for it and wins the hand. Jimmy Bluffett just ate an entire pint of cookie dough ice cream, and he calls it adulting. So there you go. He's saying, oh, we lost soda. What happened? Well, he grabbed a couple of racks, and he put his chips in them. And he walked over to the cage, I think. So we are short a chin. We don't have a chin. We're all working our own chins, no extra chins here tonight, at least at this stage of the broadcast. Joe here on the button, 25 to call. He does so. God on completes the big blind, and Bones checks his option. 7, 6, 8, 7, and God on with a couple of mystery cards. 2 spades, 1 heart, Jack high board. Checky. Exciting hand developing. 9 of hearts here on the turn. Both Bones and Joe picking up gutters. Checky. Nobody gonna fire away with their 8 or 7 high. And Joe will pick up the superior pair of 7s on the end as Gordon checks once more. Probably something in hand. Ace 6 or just whatever, really. Who knows? Pair of 7s with an 8 kicker is going to do the job. And there is Callie from Texas. Royal Touch. Going to give a massage to Bones. Get him tuned up there a little bit. And if you are looking to get tuned up and need, you know, little stiff muscles up in your neck, back, whatever, get the kinks worked out. Fantastic. Licensed massage therapists from Texas Royal Touch are the way to go. $1.50 a minute here at TCH North Austin. Come on down, hang out with us, pick up on all of the fantastic promos that we got. Tomorrow, for example, Tuesday, it's Members Appreciation Day. It's going to be half off your hourly all day. Get yourself a massage while you're at it. Jimmy here, he's got a couple of ladies. He's going to raise it up in +1. 75 to go. Rhonda, suited Jack 9. She's going to make the call. And Joe has 2 cards. He's going to call. JC on the button. King Jack offsuit is a spot where you could go for a squeeze, but still facing the under the gun UTG 1 open from Jimmy. Peeling a flop in position. King Jack off, definitely not a bad thing either. All right, 4 ways to a flop. 8 high, rainbow flop. Jimmy will continue. Pretty safe looking board for him, but Rhonda says, I got 2 overs, backdoor hearts, and a gutter to the nuts. Better peel one off, and maybe I can hit a 10 on the turn like you did earlier, bro. It's not to be. It's a deuce of clubs. And Jimmy gets some chips across the line. And Rhonda now grabbing blacks, and folding. So eyeing up her customer, cutting out a little bit of a scare play to see if he would flinch a little. Maybe push those across the line if he looked like he was concerned. He didn't, as he had queens up, and Rhonda said, okay, fine. I guess it's not worth it. Taking a look here at the chat, it looks like people are doing some gambling, seeing if they can turn their points into more points. He says he has an extra chin, but he's working on it. So, well, good luck. I do wish you the best with that. As you know, if you have too many chins hanging around, you know, they get clingy. And they just, you know, it's best to just part with them when you get an opportunity. JC here, he's got a couple of Judys. He's going to raise it up and take it down. Jobel here in Houston. What's up, dude?
Oh, you know the round thing with the white tip?
Oh, right. Jobel. Nice.
Jobel, indeed. As Mike has
One of the
returned.
OG comment. This has been kind of weird. We haven't had the massive straddle here tonight. I think we've gotten up to 50, which is probably fine. I mean, can't help be like Chase, the legend that he is.
Yeah, the 290 or whatever, the 1-2 or the 2.5 290, which I've seen from Chase on regular occasion. The 165 also one of my favorites.
Yeah, the most random numbers are what makes it special. Anybody can put out like a $50 or $100, but can you just come up with some conglomeration of numbers? You know, that takes a real skill. So,
absolutely. All right, JC here, ace 10 suited, raised to 125. Folds all the way back around to Joe, who had limped the king 9 off from UTG1. It appears that he's going to go for the limp call, but he needs to have a conversation with JC about it first. Conversation complete, call initiated, flop engaged. Queen 5 deuce, couple of hearts out there for JC. Has the best hand and the best draw, and Joe is going to go ahead and donk lead right into him for 2 1/4. JC raises as he is wont to do, and Joe snap folds, JC wins.
So what has been the craziest hand of the night, chat pros? We've seen a ton of them. We had the aces. Wait, we're not.
Aces,
okay,
aces,
never mind.
queens,
We'll hold that thought. Apparently, in the future.
What?
We're not quite. What's that? Okay, the future will be great. That's what we're being told. So, stay tuned, folks.
Hashtag Inception.
Speaking it into existence, folks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening most of the time, but apparently things are happening. It's real life. Joe's limping.
Is it, or is it just a dream? Speaking of the future, though, tomorrow, Tuesday, is Members Appreciation Day here at Texas Card House. So I can predict that you will save money if you come on into TCH to play some cash games on Tuesdays. All right, look at this, Aaron. We got pocket 9s here for Rondo.
Joe limped under the gun, and he did this before with the king 6. Remember the pocket 3s, right? So now's his time to shine with the ace king. This is a limp. This is a raise from Gordo. In the hijack, ace jack offsuit to 125. Ronda in the third blind finds pocket 9s, puts in the 3-bet, and now Joe, after everything that he's done up until this moment, is just going to flat call the ace-king offsuit, which is going to bring Gordon in, who probably thinks that his ace can't be behind anything except maybe Ronda. Right? He's never going to see it if we get an ace-high board. Nope, we're going to get a 10-high board with a 9 out there for Ronda, who's going to demolish this flop. And as the 3-better, she does have the natural betting lead. She fires out, which is 3/4 pot. About 80% pot. Joe folds his hand to his neighbor. Oh, and that's just the end of it. Okay, Ronda wins.
Mir Carrot, USA better win tonight. I didn't realize they were going to be playing Spain. And so probably a super late night hoops. Hope you guys have been enjoying the Olympics. For all those night owls, for people like us in the poker community where time is just a made-up construct. The hours don't matter. The points don't matter. It has certainly been a fun series for all of us late night owls who are just looking for something enjoyable to watch. Won't get too much into it, but I mean, it is non-stop entertainment, so
Non-stop.
all the time, just like this channel. As Bones there getting a massage there from Texas Royal Touch. You can follow them at Texas Royal Touch on Instagram. If you want to bring them to your room, licensed massage therapist, some of the best in the biz for $1.50 a minute. And Bones taking advantage of that as well. So.
Gordon, he's got ace-jack again. He's going to raise to 150 again and see how things shake out this time. As Jay Win on the button, 5-4 suited. He's going to go ahead and peel off a flop if Joe and JC oblige. Joe certainly does. He's putting out calling chips, and JC not going to double down. 9-deuce off suit. So 3 ways to a flop, multi-way action here. Jay Win in position. Gordon with the betting lead. Ace, Jack, 10. Top 2 for Gordon.
Joe with no hand, and will probably that will disappear from the screen here shortly. But Gordon, Tony Bennett's biggest fan here, is going to bet here to 375.
Joe here eyeing up his opponent from across the table. Confirming.
Oh, okay, he does have cards.
Wager. He has cards, we just don't know what they are. Joe apparently does know what they are and is trying to determine by looking at them multiple times if he wants to continue, and he does not.
Again, he raised with his favorite hand, King 6 offsuit, in the beginning of the stream. So we're just always looking out to see if maybe that's a spicy hand that he may come up with. Mike up with Aaron McAvoy, super producer Carolyn's back there, producer David. Well, we make up a little team that we call TCH Live. We need 10 more subscribers to get to 29,000. Numbers are hard. 1, 2.
But they can
What
do
comes
it.
after 2?
We don't have to do it. They can do it.
They can do it.
Hit the subscribe button and
Yes.
bring us across the threshold to 29,000 subscribers. We were just at 25,000 not that long ago. You guys are badass.
We were
You've
at
really
0
taken
at
us.
one point, and then now we're at 29,000. It's a
Boom.
miracle.
Goes
A
the
Christmas
dynamite.
miracle.
In August.
Thank you for subscribing, Nikolai13. See, he's part of the cause. Almost at the 500 like mark. You guys are almost there. We just need like 15 more of you. And we've done it. Mission accomplished. JC here now with a raise out of the straddle. He's going to 3-bet, it looks like.
About time you didn't have it.
And going to get a customer here. Joe, head up.
Yeah, called the 65, calls the 350. Queen, deuce, deuce. JC going to go for the range bet here. 300 on the turn. Or sorry, on the flop. Flop, turn, cards, things.
Cards, things are hard, man.
My things are, no, I'm kidding. Joe folds, JC wins. Oh my goodness.
All right, Roy Kerwood here in the chat, saying something. Oh no, Vegas Aviation. Your faces don't match your voices, but y'all are awesome. Well, actually, we do like a face swap, like on Snapchat. Like, it's really my face. Like it's backwards. So we're sorry to confuse you, but we do have to show off that amazing technology.
That's right. And we have breached the 500 like mark. We did it. And the 29,000 subscriber mark. Apparently? No, somebody said that we did, but I don't see that that is true. Did I just get trolled? Who does that? We did. 29,000 subscribers and 500 likes. Y'all are amazing. We love you guys.
Anytime you can put Kirk Cousins in our live stream, you know, you got to do it. Okay.
Hails to the yeah. All right, poker and stuff. Rhonda's playing the dude talking of the spades variety. Raising it up to 250. Jordan Rapp in the chat, 99.99. What a thug. Dude, thank you very much for that contribution. We appreciate you very much, Jordan. As we have a serious clash of hands here, Gordon waking up with the Cowboys. facing a raise to 250 and a call from the small blind. Gordon here in the third blind straddle position. Value town, 925 to go.
There we go.
Effective stack here after this bet is just about 3K.
What's you gonna do? What's you gonna do?
675 to call, pot already up to 1.4 thousand, and Rhonda, after she swigs a little bit of beverage, is going to toss the call in.
A little liquid courage, you say?
That's absolutely what she's working with over there, considering she's sitting on 10 high. But is going to play this one on the button, so she will have last action.
Doing the double pistols here as JC in the background. Double guns, pew, pew, pew.
Is it 39?
Joe here trying to figure out what he's going to do, and he's going to fire a bunch of chips across the line.
There's a ton of pinks there.
This is a massive raise, and Gordon probably won't be able to believe how fortunate he is to have this call 4-bet that is going to put him all in. And he has kings. And against the guy that's shown that he'll do this with 3s and king 6 and who knows what, yeah, let's go. Gordon doesn't know it, but he needs to fade an ace. And in fact, Rhonda hasn't folded yet. She's cutting out some pink chips.
Just trying to fold, trying to get the pinks off, I think, is no way, Rhonda. No way here. This Gordon here in for 3.9.
She actually is getting a very good price, all things considered.
3.9 into what's going to be 14, just under 14.
The problem is that after Gordon calls off his stack, you have to know that like 2-pair or better is the only way that you win the hand. So then, even then, like 4K, she'd have to put 4K into a pot that's going to go up to 14. Like, yeah, she only needs to hit like 1 in 3, you know, like a little over that, but making 2 pairs hard, right? Like, she doesn't actually have the equity to go for that. And her implied odds against the remaining chips in Joe's stack, the 4K behind, is not enough. It's not enough to price her into this, at least from like a GTO standpoint. But she is cutting out the potential calling chips to see if she can spike a lucky flop. She also has to know that it's very likely that Joe is going to pile it on like any flop, and even if she like makes a pair like at 8s, right? Comes like queen high with an 8. What's she gonna do? She's gonna call 4K? Or, you know, when the pot's up over 20K, yeah, I mean it's gonna be tough to fold.
No, she probably will not have to put her Pokemon at risk here, which I think probably factors into the decision, right? Like if you're having a chance to play this big multi-way pot with a suited 1-gapper and you don't have to sacrifice your Pokemon, I mean that is just smart investment, right? But this is, she just might be in the mood to just say hit the F it button, let's gamble. I clearly know Joe's full of it, but he is full of it with boy. It's definitely better, but. Everybody in the chat saying fold Rhonda. This is a super chat pro moment. I, for one, am here for the entertainment value. If she wants to call 3.9K with 10-8 suited, you know, God bless her. I feel like that's for our channel, for the content purposes. I am rooting for the most insane option possible. It's not going to.
Okay, she gets out of the way. I think Gordon was wanting her to fold because he knows that her 2 cards are just like super live, whatever they are. As it stands, Gordon basically just needs to fade an ace as he is all in and at risk against Joe over here. The 10-8 did finally make it into the muck. Rhonda's chips never crossed the line. Her cards do. And we may be running it once, maybe twice.
I think the only other theory is she's a big Steamdola fan and she has the 8 of spades. So.
Could be.
There we go.
All right, safe flop here so far. King's out in front. Does turn a pair of 10s.
Jay, why didn't you make me call? 10-8.
And runs out hearts, so pocket king.
Joe!
Are no good. Joe has the ace of hearts. Oh my God, I didn't realize he had the ace of hearts.
Oh my, did you say oh my?
And they ripped it.
We are so sorry, brother.
Oh, they do. They run it twice. Sorry, they run it
Right,
twice.
so
Gordon is now searching for half
There is
the
no
pot.
justice in poker sometimes.
Ace 10 is no good on the second run out. Gordon will get to keep his chips and half the pot, but my goodness, to have that first board run out like that and just like, oh no, now I need half the pot just to survive. Yeah, Gordon getting bailed out there on the second run out.
But we, she did have the 8 of spades in her hand, which to her credit, we will allow the tank because Steve Dola, our biggest advocate for the 8 of spades, has basically drilled it in our brain that that's the only association I ever make with that particular card and particular suit. Usual suspect, I approve with the scream. This has like been an all-time chat pro comment night. Like, you guys have been the real stars of our show. We've got 29,000 subscribers, well over 520 likes here for the stream. Yeah, a good, solid effort. We've had some very good super stickers and super chats put on in. Jordan Rapp, big fan of the show, has been here in the commentary booth as well, throwing in $99.99.
Dude, hell yeah, man. Big shout out to Jordan.
Andrew,
Thank you.
can we do streams where you can only run it once, please? Well, I mean, that would be un-American. Players have a choice, man. Like, I don't think there'd ever be a time where the stream will be like, no, we're not doing it twice here. Like,
yeah, and you can only look at your cards once, and
yep, you can only bet a max amount. Nobody can get stacked. It'll be a 1,500 cap on the hands. It'll be just like, after that, we just run it out. No variance, no freedom.
No freedom
Yep.
allowed.
No choice. Okay, we're not trying to stir up trouble. But Bones may with Ace King of Clubs.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna get a
Bones always trying to stir up trouble, if I dare say so.
The Chief Needler himself. The King of Sting. Bones now here with Ace King, who has been in a world of pain for some of the stream.
My respect for you, starting
And Gordon tried to squirt in there from the big blind, but Bones not allowing it, and Gordon does have to fold.
Quiet night here for J1. I feel like he has either had no hands or everything that he has had has been completely like with board. But he's been putting on the straddles here.
Yeah, a little bit of a quieter night for J-Win, I guess we could say. But yeah.
There's always one. There's always one or two that we're like, oh, this guy is tight. Like, it's not always that simple. Like, it's situation, it's card dead, and plus, when you look at a sample size of like 3.5 to 4 hours, like,
yeah, it's like
still,
100
I mean,
hands.
still not a huge amount of hands.
Yeah, we're on hand 91, and I can tell you from personal experience, as can just many of the people watching this, 91 hands. You just pick out 91 hands. Like, I've folded 91 freaking hands, like just seemingly just one after another. And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Especially, right? Like, and it'll happen too. You'll fold like 40 hands in a row, and you're just like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And then it actually turns out that,
best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, like you didn't get coolered. Like, yeah, you got a bunch of your bad hands. You just got them all in a row, and you had to fold. Okay.
Speak of the not devil, J-Win now electing to 3-bet to 925. Rhonda in the mix with Queen Deuce suited. I think she may not have been aware that there was a re-raise because Bones popped this up to 325.
She was still trying to call 50.
I think,
not even the 325. Forget about the 925. She's still trying to call 50.
Now looking back at this, saying like, I have to fold. I cannot continue with this.
It's $50 splash pot from C8. JC's 50 will go in as well. And now back over to Bones. Still don't know what Bones is working with, but this is a large 3-bet, 600 to see this flop out of position. Bones is going to take one off. King, Queen, 3. Favorable flop for J-Win's range. Not for his hand. 2K in the middle. Imagine we're going to see something around 600. No, he goes tiny. He goes 350. And 350 is a bet that will get pretty much no folds. You can imagine like 8-7 of spades folding. Just not much else. Pretty much everything else is going to be compelled to continue for this price. So Bones does go for the check call. 7 on the turn. A little bit of showdown value for J-Win, but likely not going to have the best hand very often. If he continues betting with the turned equity improvement of the 7, he can potentially get his opponent to fold out a hand as strong as a queen. So he is going to continue. 10.75 now. And if Bones calls this bet, then J-Win can safely assume that a pair of 7s is never good. Pot size will be appropriate for a river jam. We'll see how things shape up here. Bones is going to go for the check call once again. Here we go. Big, important river card here.
That could be trapping with Jack 10. I mean, there's going to be a Jack on the end, so.
Really tough card.
I mean, the worst Bones has there is like Jack 10. It doesn't seem to make sense, but he's going to check it over here to J-Win.
Yeah, J-Win knows that a pair of 7s is never going to be good, but the problem for him is that that Jack is just absolutely awful for his range. Like, the best hand that he has is going to be ace 10.
Oh, shoves!
Yeah, he's going to go for it. And this may end up working depending on Bones' hand, but, like, honestly, I think Bones only makes it to a river with a hand that can call.
And that is either the bitter beer face or the Bones dejected face. You can see slightly behind the graphics of like, what in the hell is going on here? He's like Mr. Belding back in Saved by the Bell. Wait, what? Hey, what is going on here?
So I would say that this line is either top set, second set, or just nothing. Right? Like, J-Win's pair of 7s is effectively nothing. The problem is that I don't think that you even bet the 350 on the flop with top 2. Because the only hands that are going to continue against you are going to be hands that will pay more. I don't know. I mean, all of this is just my analysis. Like, don't read into it too much. But, I mean, I think...
This is such an unusual spot where you get a 3-bet and then a down bet to 350, which I think that opens the door for Bones to have a ton of different kind of hands. Then, like you said, like once it goes check, bet, call turn, now trying to pin together what the heck Bones has in this spot is so weird to just try to put together. And
yeah,
is it King? Would he be going there with King 10?
Oh, we got the hand up off the table. This is generally going to be indicative of a hand that's ready to fold, as is sort of like, let me show my neighbors and be like, yeah, look at this shitty spot. But Bones is the kind of guy, too, where he'll try to start to talk. He'll try to get a little bit of information out of you. So picking the hand up off the table isn't necessarily just like, yeah, I'm going to fold this. Although he does fold it, and J-Win shows the pair of 7s. And Bones nods his head and says, yeah, all right, good hand, well played. We'll never know, I suppose, what Bones had.
Yeah, I mean, I probably ask him, but that's... Tadpole says King 10, does a guess. I mean, it's maybe ace-queen, but that's...
Murder!
Yeah.
It's... You can come up with a lot of different ideas, but it's... Poker Polly, hey, commentator, can you shout out Coco? He loves you guys. We love you too, Coco.
Oh, yeah. Coco.
Yeah. Wasn't that like Michael Jackson's monkey?
Coco the monkey?
Bubbles, that's what it was. Hold on, who the hell was Coco?
The monkey was named Bubbles.
Yeah, his name is Bubbles. I think he had a bunch of chimpanzees that after he died had to be relocated and
repurposed.
I'm not sure what you do with monkeys after.
Pleasure monkeys. Yeah, you got to put them out to pasture.
That's a dark road that we're going on here. We've already gone way off the edge here a few times here tonight, but sick bluff by J1. Sick bluff by J1. They got it through as.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I mean, I was just sitting there like, no, J1 really hasn't done anything here tonight, and then it's like, boom, 7-6 of diamonds. I was not tipped on this. I was not given an indication that that was going to be the case. It was just timing working out in such a way. J1 now 3-betting. Jimmy's got kings. Jimmy's got kings. He's putting in a massive 4-bet here, and unless, nope, J1's got.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Wasn't that like the Keanu Reeves movie, The Terminal Velocity, or whatever the skydiving bank robbery movie with Gary Busey?
Where the game over,
It was
man
like Game
came
Over,
from?
man.
Yeah,
I
the
can't
one
remember.
guy.
It might have been Bill Paxton that did that. I'm getting my references really crossed.
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
What is
Somebody's
that
gonna
from?
correct me.
Just call me next time.
Oh, Aliens. Oh, of course. with Bill
Aliens.
Paxton. God,
That's
why couldn't I
right.
think
Yes.
of that?
I know. I had a picture
it's
of that
like a
actor and
point-
everything, and he's like, "Game over, game over, man." Yeah, it's because they're cornered, and the aliens are gonna.
It's gonna be
yeah.
on my soundboard probably eventually, but people are talking about Point Break. I don't know why I remember that movie.
Oh,
but
Point Break. Yeah.
probably just because all the presidents with the masks and shit. You know.
And
Okay.
shit.
We've got King, Queen, Jack 4 suited in 6-3. Just another hashtag Texas Poker Night.
Rhonda had this hand earlier, flopped a flush draw, and got away from it on the flop. This time she's gonna flop bottom pair. She's the best hand, but she's up against JC, who has a huge chunk of the equity here. 2 over. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a 9 of spades.
Yeah.
I lied.
I thought it was too. I thought it was the 9
Oh,
of
it
spades.
is the 9 of spades.
It was. You corrected yourself and you didn't need to.
JC, King, Queen. 2 overs. Spades. Gutter.
Is there Sean
Bing.
Connery?
Yeah, that's gonna give him the better hand and stuff. Rhonda checks it over. JC bets flop. No reason to stop betting now. Goes for 700. And Rhonda has pretty bad hand.
You know, don't tell Carlo that. That is his. Well, I guess his hand is of the unsuited variety, but yeah, this is pretty much a fold.
Yep.
Maybe for posterity's sake.
It's a good fold. Good fold, Rhonda.
Good one. Good laydown.
JC turns his cards up at Rhonda. Says, hey, just look at these. Look at these. Do you see them? That's what I had. Looking at the chip counts, JC 15.6K is the only player cracking the 10K mark. Jay Win, Joe, Jimmy, Trey, Rhonda, all sitting down there in the 8 to 9K regime. And Godon hanging out down there just under 5K.
So we're down the stretch here of our cash game. We are going to have a tournament final table replay of the monthly main event of the WPT Steps 2 that was last Sunday. Yeah, the link is pinned in the comments. So, like, if you're sitting there like, man, we want some overtime, dude, it is coming right up. Join one of the chat pros that are already in waiting for the 20K WPT Steps tournament.
Steps 2 final table.
Final table
with
featuring your boy
an appearance
Aaron.
from me. I may or may not make a deep run in this tournament.
It may or may not. We can't confirm or deny. Sources say Aaron was on the table. Those just sources.
And some horses also said.
Yeah, a horse, of course.
Yeah. Jack high flop here. No 9s, no 6s.
Yeah, of course.
For Rhonda. Trey bets 100. Rhonda folds. Trey wins. You
Pretty
heard it
simple
here
as that, huh?
Mike
It was
Youngblood.
like that in Major League. I don't remember when Major League, when Bob Uecker had Marty. And Marty was doing the commentary for Major League 2. And he literally couldn't do it, so he's just sitting there like, fly ball, caught. Like, maybe we could do a stream like that. Bet 25. There is a raise, 1,000.
Yeah, people will love it.
You know, I think our simplified version of TCH Live is sure to be a hit.
What we should do is, instead of doing commentary, we should just pipe in the audio from the dealer at the table.
Oh, yeah.
Fold,
That way,
fold,
I mean...
Fold. Bet
Fold,
25.
fold.
Call. I mean,
Donk.
it's riveting. It's
Donk.
fantastic.
It would be. So was that the last hand? Oh, that means it is a deck change. Folks, I need to say something here.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's do 100.
Okay, so
Well, let's take a
I have something I desperately do need to say. So I invite you to join us on the WPT Step Stream. There's a link posted. It's right there in the chat. We are going to sign off here for TCH Live Cash Game tonight. Mike Gumlet, Aaron Mack, voice of producer Carolyn, producer Seth here in the house, producer David. We're rounding third and heading for home. Going to do one more here for just about another hour. I have got